to everyone joining us today. I'm delighted to inform you that today we are being joined by Dr. Varun Kapoor, IPS, Additional Director General of Police, Madhya Pradesh, and Mr. Shali Deshpande, Advocate, Corporate and Legal Law Firm, New Delhi. I would first like to invite Principal Ma'am to say a few words.
A very good afternoon, Dr. Varun Kapoor, and we are so happy to welcome you, though virtually, but then your presence always will make us better human beings, better citizens, and more knowledgeable. A warm welcome to you.
Thank you.
So before I proceed with the proceedings of the meeting, I would like to spend 2 minutes in memory of our late former president, Mr. Pranab Mukherjee. And he was such a tall personality, and I'm sure my children, my students, they have lots to learn from his life. The newspapers say that he walked 7 to 8 kilometers and wrote his diary before he fell sick. That's one thing very important, children. Keep writing your diary every day. It's a very good habit. And you have to learn a lot from Mr. Pranab Mukherjee's life. He was one of the most respected presidents and parliamentarian, and of course, along with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and most learned. You must read his books. So on behalf of Birla Vidya Niketan, I offer our tributes to our late former president, Shri Pranab Mukherjee. Dr. Varun Kapoor, a warm welcome to you once again. And if you permit me, I would like to introduce you with my students. You are an IPS officer from the 1991 batch from the Madhya Pradesh cadre. And something very interesting about you is that before joining the civil services, you were the ex-assistant to the CMD of Reliance Industries, late Shri Dhirubhai Ambani. If possible, we would like to know something about Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani, because he achieved a lot in his life, and I'm sure you being in such close contact with him will have to guide us that how these people scale such greater heights in life. Sir, you have a vast experience as a trainer and advisor in India as well as abroad in the United Nations. You have headed the most prestigious police training institutions of MP. Your contributions and projects to make the society narcotics free and is really commendable. You've done so much of work in this area, and we understand that the society is grappling with these issues. Kudos to you, sir, for taking these commendable tasks to make the society a better place. Through your Black Ribbon initiative for cyber security, you have trained and spread awareness to over 2 lakh people, and you are regularly writing in the national dailies and magazines on these issues. We are also aware that you do a lot of research in these areas before you actually take these forward. I would also take pride in stating that amongst the many other awards, you have been decorated with the President's Police Medal for the Meritorious Services in the year 2008. You were nominated for President's Police Medal for Gallantry in 2009, and you received Union Home Minister's Medal for Excellence in Training in 2017. We are absolutely honored to have you amongst us today, and I'm sure that with your words of wisdom, you will be able to guide us that how we should be able to use internet safely. All my students are using internet these days, be it in the form of their classes or for any other thing. They are all using it in a big way. And I'm sure they are making mistakes also, not deliberately, but unknowingly, I would say. So please take us to this journey of internet and guide us that how should we become better netizens. Over to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, just to add on, not only children, but we elders also, we may commit so many mistakes while online. And when I had
Yes.
attended Dr. Varun Kapoor's session, it was such a big eye opener for me. It was kind of a shock that what are we doing? So,
Oh
and
my God.
yes, so that very minute I felt, my children also being from the same school, I really felt that I have to reach out to Birla Vidya Niketan and to as many schools as possible for Dr. Varun's session, because his sessions are really, really very good. So let's fasten our
Thank
seat.
you, Vaishali, for bringing him here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. On over to sirs.
Good morning, good afternoon rather, and good afternoon to Vaishali, first of all, who has ensured that this happens. Good afternoon to the principal ma'am, who was very kind with the words, and good afternoon to all the students and other faculty members who are present in today's session. So first of all, I'd like to ask you one thing. Would you like me to speak only in English, or do you English and Hindi mix is better? Or only English? I can speak in either of the two. Just for
As
my
you are
knowledge.
comfortable. I mean, English, Hindi, mixed, whatever.
Okay. So if some words of Hindi come in the middle, I don't think anybody would have any problem, because you are from Delhi, I think, your
Yes,
school.
sir. Yes.
So yesterday I was in Hyderabad, and I have a habit of switching to Hindi sometimes, because I'm from a Hindi speaking state, and those people, the students were probably not being able to understand. So I had to speak only in English. So anyway, now I know. So good afternoon, and welcome to this session, which is about cyber security and the crime which is related to cyber security, that is cybercrime. A thing which we don't take that seriously as we should, but something which we can learn and speak, and then you must do something very serious about it. Otherwise, it's just going to become worse and worse. So I would like to start with saying this, that in my introduction, it was told by the principal that I have actually worked in 5 continents as a police officer. I have, first of all, just to tell you what I will do, I'll try to first tell you the challenges which are associated with cyber security, why it is such a big challenge. Then I would like to tell you some concepts about cyber security, which I would like to share with you, if you don't know already, but still. And finally, the crime which is affecting the children and the youth of today's India and probably the whole world. So that's how my session will go. After that, if you have any questions, if I have answers, I will love to give it to you. So that's how the flow will go. So then now I'll start. I have worked in 5 continents, as I said, as a police officer, and I have actually worked. I have not gone there just to roam around and for tourism or some training or something like that. I have worked in Africa, in Europe, in North America, in Central Asia, and in South Asia, where we all stay, as a police officer. So after having seen the security scenario all over the world, and the public security efforts which are being made all over the world, and also the crime situation, the types of crime in every corner of the globe, I can tell you one thing from my experience, that if you have today to choose 1 or 2 of the top threats to public security, one of them will be cybersecurity. It may not be number 1, maybe number 1 also, but if you have to talk 1 or 2, one of them will be cybersecurity. It is that big a threat. It's that big a challenge. But we are all human beings, and unfortunately, we measure everything according to the real world, this physical world which is around us. Everything is measured according to this world, because we are human beings. We live in this world. So in the cyber world, there are no bullets being fired. There are no blood being spilled. There is no dead bodies falling. There is no woman being molested. So everyone feels कि ठीक है, must be something होगा, थोड़ा बहुत पैसा चला गया किसी का, कुछ stalking हो गया, कुछ bullying हो गया, ठीक है, it's okay, छोटा मोटा, fine. But it is not fine. It is not that small. It may not appear that sinister. It may not appear that life-threatening for everyone, because as I said, we do everything according to this real world. We feel and we even sense everything according to the physical world. So that world, what is happening there, feels as if it's nothing much. But take it from me, my experience, it is not that small. It is something very dangerous. And because the danger is not seen, that doesn't mean it is not there. So it is one of the top threats to public security in today's time. That's the first thing. And the second thing, my conviction and my experience again tells me that the only key, it's not the best key, the only key to secure yourself in cyberspace is awareness. Your awareness only, not anybody else's awareness. Your awareness. Your awareness is the only key to secure you in the cyberspace. That is my conviction and my belief. I will try to prove it in the following part of my lecture. Okay, why I'm saying that. So the only key for cybersecurity for citizens, for individuals, is their own awareness. So if it's awareness which is so important to save yourself from this, one of the biggest threats to your security, then what do? Then we become aware. Then how do we become aware? We have to talk about it. You have to start thinking about it. And then most importantly, we have to start doing something about it. Talking and thinking and all that is okay, but then doing, that's the most important. So if cybersecurity key is awareness, then let's be aware, let's talk today, let's think today, let's deliberate today. And in the end, after that, let's do something from today. That should be the motto. Okay. So with that motto, I'm going to start my session. And one more thing I would like to add before I go forward is whatever I'm going to say to you as a police officer. I'm a police officer who has 29 years experience. I've seen all types of crime, all types of everything. So 29 years experience as a police officer. 10 years of that has been spent out of my own choice in the field of cybersecurity. Whenever I had time, of course, because that in the field of cybersecurity, cybercrime. Out of my own choice, I say, because I have never been formally posted in cybercrime, cyber cell division, cyber security, never. It has been my, I started it 10 years back as a point of, because I like to do new things to improve the systems. So that time cybercrime 10 years back, I don't think you must have heard the word also cybercrime. Many police officers had not also heard anything called cybercrime, right? So at that time I heard that word, so I thought, let's do something about it. So I started working in that field out of my own choice. It was never my responsibility, and it is not my responsibility even today. It's not my job. If I was not here today, it would have made no difference. I would have still got my salary, but it is here. I'm here because in these 10 years, it has become my passion and mission. And I feel if I come on any such webinar now, earlier I used to do seminars and workshops. If I come on in a webinar and one person is even benefited from what I say and is secured from some kind of thing which would have happened to that person, otherwise, if he had not heard what I said, then I think my coming here is fruitful and worth it. That's why it's just my passion and mission that brings me here. So I'm an officer of 29 years experience. 10 of that has been in cybersecurity out of my own choice. I have worked a lot in many fields. My, nirdharit jo meri naukri thi, which was part of my job, like field policing, community policing, international policing, police training. I have been posted in these places at various times, and I've done lots of work there also. Much more than no boasting, but there are many IPS officers. There are 4,000 IPS officers serving in India at present. But anyway, these are my official fields which are supposed to work. Other than that, also I've done a lot of work because I like to do work in many fields and try to help people. Like ma'am said, in narcotics, I've done a lot of work, enforcement and awareness. And one day we might meet together and talk about narcotics. That's a big threat for children also. And I do sessions on that also. And I've done many, I've designed apps, I've, many programs. Anyway, that's something else. But I've worked in narcotics. I've worked in women's security. I've worked in traffic improvement and management. I worked in wildlife conservation. I worked in suicide prevention, many fields. But cybersecurity continues to be my main passion and mission and my love, first love. So I'm here as a police officer. So I'm going to talk to you as a police officer. I don't claim to be a very big computer expert. Neither do I claim to be some big gadget guru or some software wizard. I'm not. I'm just a police officer. I'm going to tell you as a police officer. So that's why I say that whatever I'm going to say today are going to be common sense things. Because if it is a matter of security, your security, or policing matters or security matters, only one sense is important, which is the best. Which is it? It's common sense. They're all common sense things. Unfortunately, take it from me that when the threat comes and the crisis comes, the first sense to desert the human being is also common sense only. Unfortunately, that's the case. I've seen so many cases in which I went and asked, unfortunately, I had to ask the person who was a victim that, yaar, tumne aisa kara kaise? How did you do this? Imagine people just lose their common sense. That is something else beside that. But whatever, the only sense you need is common sense for your security. So whatever I'm going to tell you are common sense things. Because as I said, I'm going to talk to you as a police officer. Okay, so common sense things means I believe that many things I'm going to say today, you might be knowing already. Many things, maybe most of the things you might be knowing. And some of you may be very smart, you might be knowing everything which I'm going to say today. But even if you know everything, what I'm going to say today, I would request you listen once more. Why? I will tell you. Because if you listen to something again and again, it becomes part of your system. And that is what I want to happen today. That whatever I say, even if you know everything, listen again, make it part of your system. Why am I saying that? I'll tell you. See, when the emergency comes, the threat comes, the crisis comes, maybe a natural calamity situation, maybe a crime situation, maybe an accidental situation, then one thing is very important. Your response to the situation, which will save you or not save you. How you respond to that crisis, that emergency, that is the way, that is what decides what will happen to you, correct? So if your response is automatic and immediate, you may be able to save yourself in the best possible manner. Suppose somebody is standing in front of you with a knife. Are you going to start thinking what you're going to do? If you start thinking, it may be too late. If you start doing, you might save yourself in the best manner. Very simple. And when do you have that automatic and immediate response? When it is part of your system, of course. Nobody has to come and tell you, "Arey, tu chaku leke khada hai yaar, kuch karo." Nobody has to tell you that because you respond automatically. Either you will fight or you will flee. There are only two things to such a threat situation. Anyway, but it is automatic because it is part of your system. And when it is part of your system, then the response is automatic and immediate. That's why I'm saying, even if you know everything I'm going to say, which may not be the case, but even if you know it, you listen again so that you will give an automatic response, and that will be your best response even for a cyber security threat situation, which people are not giving. I can quote hundreds of cases because people don't see the physical threat, so they feel there is no threat. As a result, they don't give that automatic response and they become victims very easily. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say. Now I will go to that part when I said it is one of the biggest threats to the public security in today's time. Why am I saying that? Now I'll try to explain to you that. Anyway, one more thing. Whatever I'm telling you is out of my own experience. As I said, 10 years experience. I have seen crime all over the world. So whatever I'm going to talk to you is from my experience in cybersecurity. It is not written by some American author or some British researcher. I do research in this field also, cybersecurity. I write also, as ma'am has said. I have a lot of experience also. I've dealt with a lot of cases also. And I solved many cases also. So on basis of that experience, I'm going to talk to you. I'm not going to talk on somebody else's experience. So if you believe what I'm saying, it's your choice. If you don't, that is also your choice. It doesn't matter to me, but I'm going to speak only from my experience. Okay. So from my experience, that why is it such a big threat to public security? I'll try to explain according to my experience. I told you, I have seen crime all over the world. All types of crime I've dealt all over the world. So after seeing crime all over the world and having dealt with crime all over the world, I can tell you one thing. Cybercrime is a different crime from any crime which has ever happened anywhere in the world before. That is why it is such a big challenge. Why? Because it is different. Anything different is always very difficult to deal with. No, it is. All the security systems, the police or the law enforcement agencies or the security apparatus of that area are all confused. What should we do to secure the citizens best in the cyber world? Because it's different. They've never seen it before. Similarly, citizens themselves who use this world are also very confused and also at sea. कि हम क्या करें अपने आप को सुरक्षित रखने के लिए? They are also not being able to understand very soon and react in the right manner. So citizens and security apparatus both are at sea trying to find out what to do. That's why it has become such a big challenge. Now you can ask me, why is it different? You're saying it's a different crime. It's never happened before. Why do you say that? That I also tried. I'll try to simplify and tell in my experience. It is a different crime because, listen carefully. It's a different crime because it is not a crime of this world. Which world? The physical world, the actual world, the real world, asli dunya, vastavik dunya, whatever you may say, this world which is around us. It is not a crime of this world. It is a crime of a different world. It is a crime of this world, a cyber world, digital world, virtual world, a device-based world. It's a crime of a different world. That's why it's a different crime. And believe me, this is also a world If you don't believe this is a world, it's just an activity. Oh, I'm just making a phone call. Activity. Yes, of course it's an activity. I'm just chatting on WhatsApp. I'm just doing an activity. Of course you're doing an activity. But while you're doing this activity, you're using a device. And while using the device and doing that activity, you're connecting to a world. And that too is a world. Don't be ever in that doubt that that is not a world. It's just an activity. No, it is a world. And like this real world where we live, it's full of crime, criminals, dangers, threats, problems, this world. Is it not? There's so many of them. Enough. I know it. There's so many crime, criminal, all kind of dangers, threats. There are enough. There are as many in this world. Maybe even more. But the worst part is you can't even see them till it is too late. So till it is too late, it is all good, happy, hunky-dory. Everything is fun and games, no problem. But when it becomes too late, because you can't see the threat, you can't see the day. Can you see a threat here? Never. Will you see a crime or criminal, somebody with a, you will never see. Till it is too late. Then you can keep crime and trying and saying, oh my God, this has happened to me, help me. You might be helped. The crime might be solved. The criminal might be caught. No doubt about that. But the crime is done. You could not have prevented, you didn't try to even prevent it. In the virtual world, nobody is going to come with a gun and shoot you dead. But you may still end up losing your life. There are so many cases. You must have heard about Blue Whale Challenge, where innocent children lost their lives playing a game. They thought they were playing a game. And where did they end up? Dead. Nobody shot them. In the virtual world, nobody is going to come with a knife and rob you, but you'll be robbed in a worse manner. And you'll not even know that it has happened till it is all over. And then you can keep trying to find the money and the criminal. The criminal might be in Nigeria, the money might be in Hong Kong. Then you will get neither. So this is the danger. It's a different world. It is full of crime and criminal dangers and threats like any world is. And you can't even see them till it is too late. But still, you can ask me. I agree with you, Mr. Kapoor, that it's a different world. I agree with you that it's full of crime and criminals. I also agree that it cannot see them at the last hour. Still, why is it such a big threat? All of this combines to become such a big threat for humanity. Why? Also in one word, because we are human beings. Now you please listen to me, what I want to say. Why this being a human being makes it all these things combine to make it one of the biggest threats to humanity ever. Because we are human beings, I mean to say, we are human beings born in the real world and we are born for the real world. इस दुनिया में पैदा होते हैं, असली दुनिया में, असली दुनिया के लिए पैदा होते हैं. इसलिए हमारे जितने भी instincts, behaviors, attitudes, actions, reactions, whatever you may call, they are all tailored for the real world because we have to live in the real world. They are not made for this world. But when you start putting those attitudes, behaviors, instincts, and whatever in this world, which is made for the real world, then that is the trouble. That lands you in trouble. I'll tell you, give an example, you'll understand better. There is an instinct which all of us will have. Human being will have that instinct. You cannot change it. We are all humans. We'll have that instinct. What is that instinct? That instinct is what you see is what you believe. जो आपको दिखता है आप उस पर विश्वास करते हो, जो आपको सुनता है आप उस पर विश्वास करते हो, क्योंकि आपने अपनी दो आंखों और दो कानों से उसको देखा है और सुना है, तो इसीलिए आप उसको विश्वास करते हो. And based on that विश्वास or trust, then you form an opinion, then you take an action, reaction, attitude, behavior, whatever. Based on what? Based on what you see or what you hear. Now suppose you start putting this instinct into this world. Whatever you see, whatever you hear, you believe, and then you act and react and whatever, opinion or whatever. Then are you going to be correct all the time? Maybe not. Maybe because in this world, you can be made to see anything. You can be made to hear anything. Everything is not correct. But being human, your first reaction is belief. And then you do something. You tell me any crime which has happened with anybody, I will take you back in point of time to a place where that person believed what he or she saw, rather what he or she was shown or what he or she was made to hear, and then did something and became victim of cybercrime. That is the basis of cybercrime. So you have to change your mindset when you are in the virtual world. It's a difficult job. It's not very easy to change instincts. It's not very easy to change attitudes, behaviors, and your actions and reactions based on instincts. No, it's a tough job, but it has to be done. If you don't do it, and you keep on putting the behavior and the instincts of the real world into the virtual world, because it's not so easy to change, so you just forget that you have to change them, and you keep doing it because you think it's just an activity, then sooner or later, you're opening up yourself to crime. If you're lucky, because see, you are so many, how many ever you are there, I don't know, but so many of you are there. If all of you are not going to become victims of cybercrime, no, but few of you are. And those few are those who will not change their instincts. Okay, so that I'm saying it again. If you know whatever I'm going to say, listen again, make it part of your system, give an automatic response. That's the best response. Please understand it's a different world. Realize this world is also full of crime, criminals, dangers, and threats. And understand and put it in your head that these dangers and threats and criminals are not even seen till it's too late. And please change your mindset. Mindset means whatever I told you. If you don't do it, then you're taking a chance. You are lucky, good. If you're not, very bad. Okay, so last one more thing I will talk to you before I start my presentation. That is, who is responsible for your security in the virtual world? Just 2 minutes, then we will move forward. I will start with first, who is responsible for your security in the real world, in the world in which you live, this world? Who is responsible? Which system, which person makes efforts to make you secure in this real world? First, you yourself, we ourselves. From morning to evening, we are doing things without even being told, without realizing, because part of our system to keep ourselves secure, correct? From morning to night. Nobody tells us, but we keep doing it, part of our system, right? What is the first instinct of any living being? Security, his own security, her own security, and not somebody else's security, but your own. So you take measures from the morning to night without anyone having to tell you to keep yourself secure. When you go out of the house, you lock the door. Does anyone tell you to do that? No. When you cross the road, you look left and right. Does anyone come and tell you, "Hey, kaise chal raha hai yaar? Dekh to le." No, you do it yourself. When you go into a city, when you see a dark alley, do you enter the dark alley at night? You won't. So these are small, but they are all security measures, which we keep taking from morning to night to keep ourselves secure. So we make all our best efforts to keep ourselves secure. Your family makes efforts to keep you secure. Your community makes efforts to keep you secure. Police takes measures to keep you secure. The government makes policies to keep you secure. Means imagine there are so many systems and so many individuals at work to keep you and me secure, including me, ourselves, we ourselves, from morning to night. Nobody tells, nobody even wants. Okay, all these systems, all these people, you yourself are involved in your own security. But tell me, in the real world, because of all these people and all these systems, you yourself are from morning to night, is crime finished? All criminals gone? Everything now peaceful in the real world? Not at all. Still there are all type of crime. There are all type of criminals. Okay, real world. Now virtual world. Who is responsible? Which system, which individual can keep you secure in the virtual world? Just think about it for a minute. I always say cybercrime is a crime between an individual and his device. It's a crime between you and your device. Which system, which individual comes between you and your device to secure you? Just think about it for 1 minute. I will give you 1 or 2 examples to clarify what I want to say. Become a 16-year-old girl and make a profile. Can anyone stop any authentication verification? As of today, no. So I can become a 16-year-old girl and send any one of you a friend request. What do you see in front of you on the screen? A 16-year-old girl. And what is your instinct? Your belief, I told you. So belief. And in that belief, somebody by mistake might press that I accept button. I want to say is not why you press it. I want to say who presses it. The victim himself or herself. I don't come there to force you press a button or threaten to you press a button. You do it yourself. By mistake, of course. Another one of the crime is that also. If somebody makes a phone call and tries to get some personal information from a person by telling all type of lies and trying to trap the person. They give that information. But who gives the information? The victim himself or herself. Suppose I want to control your device remotely. I have to send you a virus, correct? Suppose I send you a virus. Virus is also, a program. So I send you a video file, audio file, or whatever. And below that I write, this is a virus, please download it. Will you download it? Of course not. So I will send you something which you will download. And along with that, you will download my virus, which you will not know. Technologically empowered crime is cybercrime. So you will be downloading something else, but along with that, you will download my virus. Correct? I want to say this. Who presses that download button? The victim himself or herself. Again, by mistake, but done by the victim himself or herself. Now you tell me, if you yourself are talking to the wrong person and giving all the wrong information, if you yourself are pressing the wrong button and downloading the wrong file, if you yourself are pressing the wrong friend request and making friend with the wrong person, then who is going to save you? I can give you 100 more examples, but these are 3. But then in this case, who can save you? Is there any one person or so many people who can sit with these crores of people who use the virtual world 24/7 around the world and prevent them from doing these mistakes? ये क्या कर रहे हो यार? किससे बात कर रहे हो? बंद करो फोन. ये कौन सा friend request accept कर रहे हो? मत करो. ये कौन सी file download कर रहे हो? हाथ हटाओ. Is there anybody who can do that? No. Is there any system which can come between you and your device and prevent you from doing these mistakes? As of today, no. You can say, yeah, you can have some technological support, you can put firewalls, you can put antivirus. But let me tell you one thing. Even technology is as effective as the person who uses the technology. Correct? There's so much technology in this. Do you know what is inside this? You don't know. To hack a phone, which is the device of choice of most people today, is much easier than to hack a PC, which was the device of choice till few years back. Yeah, I can hack your phone without any problem. I'm not even a cyber criminal. I'm a policeman, right? So, but there's so many technologies you will not even know. There's one technology called baseband. Do you know what that is? Baseband is the technology which connects your screen of this device with these towers which send signals for your phone calls, your SMS or whatever, Wi-Fi. Okay, that baseband technology is the most insecure technology. Suppose I put a rootkit in that baseband, then you will see your phone, everything normal, all icons there in place, but actually the phone is on. You're on call to me. What does that mean? That means it's a bugging device. I can hear whatever you're saying to whoever you're talking. That device might just be lying, but it's on call to me. And for you, the screen looks as if normal. All icons okay. No, not on call. Anyway, so I can keep talking about technology. I don't want to get into that. But I just wanted to tell you this, that technology is also only as effective as the person who uses it. But still there is no technology which can prevent you from doing those mistakes which I told you. Right? So when there is no technology and when there is no person who can prevent you from making mistakes which become then the cause of cybercrime on you, then who can protect you in cyberspace? Like in the real world, I told you, so many systems, so many people, including you. But in this, who can? Nobody but you. So only you can protect yourself in cyberspace. Okay? Now, when will you protect yourself? When will you be best protected? Obviously, when you know about things, right? So knowing is very important. You must know many things. You must know that I should do this, I should not do this. Okay, do's and don'ts, whatever. You should know, first of all. But knowing is not enough, children and ladies and gentlemen. Knowing is knowledge, is information. That is not enough. Knowing and then doing something about it, that is what is required. And that is what is called awareness, jagrukta. जागरूकता सिर्फ जानना नहीं होता कि जानना, I know, knowing is knowledge, information, whatever. Knowing and doing, that is awareness. Because see, many people know that wearing a helmet is good for your own security. If you're all kids, you're in school, when you start driving, then you will know. Many people know that wearing that helmet is good for your own health security, but many people still don't wear it. So they are knowledgeable, but they are not aware. So you don't be like that. In cyberspace, so I'm repeating the whole damn thing again, but don't say ki bar bar yaar ek hi baat, but this is very important. If you don't know what I'm going to say, good, you will know a new thing. But even if you know whatever I'm going to say, then listen again, make it part of your system, give an automatic response. Different world, realize, full of crime criminals, understand. Those cannot be seen. Make it part of your system. You can't see the danger, you can't see the threat. That doesn't mean it's not there. And last is change your mindset. And once you've done all that, you know all the things, then do something about it. And just don't know and then forget. Because it happens. I'm telling you, when you don't see the danger, when you cannot see the threat, then you don't do anything. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. That is also a problem. So you know and you do every time. That is the motto with which I will start. I always say security is a habit. It is not a choice. आदत है, विकल्प नहीं है कि कभी किया कभी नहीं किया, कभी घर से बाहर गए ताला लगाया, कभी बाहर नहीं गए तो ताला खुला छोड़ दिया. ऐसा करते हैं? नहीं करते. तो जब असली दुनिया में नहीं करते तो वर्चुअल दुनिया में क्यों? कि कभी कभी तो गलत फ्रेंड रिक्वेस्ट कर लिया, एक्सेप्ट किसी का भी, कभी कभी नहीं किया. Why? So when you know, then you do. Be aware. So that's why I told you in the beginning. I will prove to you that the only key for cybersecurity is awareness. Your awareness. So nobody can secure you. I proved it. You can secure yourself. And once you know, you do, and you do every time. Okay. With that motto, I'll start my presentation. One more thing, because some of you are kids, and you are some of you. There's a habit of being a little, mischievous. So don't be mischievous. When I put on my presentation, please, some people start annotating on it and all. Don't do it, because I can catch you very easily. That also I will tell you why. How I can catch by digital footprints what they are. I will tell you ahead what they are. But don't try to do this annotation, because I can find out. And once I find out, after some days, it'll take me maybe a couple of days. But after that, then you will be very embarrassed. So if you don't want to listen, you can go. There may be one or two of you who may not want to listen. So you're welcome to leave, but don't do this annotation, because I take it very seriously. I'm here just for your service to you, to educate and make you aware. I'm not getting anything out of it. Okay, so if I'm here for your education, so let those people who want to listen and enjoy and learn. If you don't want to listen, go. But if you do anything like this on my presentation, then I will find out, and then I will take action against you also. And because that is a crime. That's all. All of you may be very nice. Please don't think that I'm threatening anyone, but it is a fact. If you're not interested, then you can leave. But if you remain, you please don't do that, because that disturbs me. And then my chain of thought gets disturbed. The others also get disturbed, and the whole the meaning of the whole exercise is lost. Okay? Because see, I go to many schools now. Nowadays, online learning is a big thing, because of this pandemic. So I go to many schools and give these webinars. I've seen cyberbullying in the reverse direction. Teachers are being bullied. Amazing, by students. So don't do this with me. Don't try to do it with me. If you're not interested, you can leave, because I am also a police officer. I told you before. If you're not interested, one or two of you, you are welcome to disconnect and go. There is no problem. I have no issues. If only one person is listening, I am still talking. Don't worry. But if you're there and you do this kind of mischief and disturb me and others, then I will find out, and then I will not leave. Okay. Only one thing. It is not that anybody is going to do it, but just for. So before, let me enable my presentation. Give me 2 seconds, then we'll go forward. I think every one of you can see it. This is my name of my initiative. It is called Black Ribbon Initiative. This is for cybersecurity awareness. I do a lot of work in many fields. I told you, this is for cybersecurity awareness. I have my own strategies and missions for training. That's training police and army and those officers. It is also cyber training. Then I have different initiative for, it's called Roaring Tiger Initiative. I have something else for narcotics, that is Red Poppy campaign. So different cybersecurity awareness, it is this. And I have a world record for this. I have done more than 400 and I don't know how many, but official. I do it seriously. It's not just saying that मैंने इतने कर दिए, इतने 2 लाख लोगों को aware कर दिया. I have got figures of each and every session, and chahe it is webinar, chahe it was seminar, I do it seriously. Not like in workshop to go all over India when I had the time, of course, because I have other responsibilities as a police officer. But when I had time, I used to love going all around the country. I used to go, and I used to have these different, I had designed different kind of things for different schools and colleges and all that. But now that time is over. We are all in lockdown. We are all, it is unlocking slowly, but still we are supposed to keep away. Movements and travel and interaction is limited. So the webinar based concept, Sampark Abhiyan, I have started. That also, this is the 80th or something in 3 months, means I do it nearly every day. Again, I don't have to do it. I can also sit at home like many officers and save yourself from the pandemic. But this is something which I'm doing very seriously. So we are together in Sampark Abhiyan. One more thing I want to tell you is that in this time of pandemic, this time of lockdown, the traditional crime, what people used to call rape and murder and chori and dakati and loot and the traditional crime that has gone down very fast, because obviously there is no interaction that much, there is no movement, no trade, no business, no industry. It's all very much down. It is opening slowly, but still it is very slow. So people keep away by choice. So and they should say that's the best way to fight this pandemic. But because of that, the traditional crime is down, but cyber crime is up. Cyber crime is increasing very fast, because I say that as we are all at the stay-at-home mode, that is a slogan we all are following: stay at home, stay safe, and all that. Cyber crime is a true stay-at-home crime. That's why I say that, because the person who commits the crime has to go nowhere to commit it. He or she can keep sitting at home and commit that crime. The person who has to become a victim also has to go nowhere, meet no one, can sit at home and become a victim. So it is like we are in a stay-at-home mode. Even this crime is a stay-at-home crime. So it is even a bigger threat. Figures are really shocking. You know, child pornography figures of India have gone up by 90% during this lockdown. So that is for the other figures also about other cyber crimes. So it is, anyway, it is such a big threat, I told you. Now it is even a bigger threat. So let us be even more careful now than we were before. Okay, so we will start with that. And so we are going to talk about these issues only. That's why we are together. Let us start with the first thing. Some concepts, as I told you. I'll do it very fast before I go into the crime. But you must know that these things which are important. What is cyberspace? What is virtual digital cyber world? If I ask you definition, you might not be able to give it to me. Even I don't know such a definition. Maybe if there is, it must be something very long and of no great use. So we will not get into that. We will try to find out what we do in this space. Once you know what you do in this cyber world, then taken together, that will be the cyber world. Okay, that use when you take that together. According to me, there are 5 main uses of the cyber world. There are small many uses, but when you group them, there are 5. Let us talk about the first and the most important use. That is information. Information is the biggest use of cyber world. And which is the age we are living in today? कौन सा युग है जिसमें हम लोग आजकल सभी लोग जीते हैं? कलयुग नहीं है, ये है the age is information age, सूचना का युग. That is the age that all of us are living in, right? There was an information revolution in the early 2000s or late and in the 90s decade. That is over. Now we are all living in the age of information. When the name is information age, the most important thing in today's time is information. सबसे बड़ी चीज आज के युग में है information, सूचना, for you, for me, for everyone. The more you keep, the more you have, the more smartly you use it, the more successful you'll be, the more secure you'll be, the more sukhi you'll be, the more everything you will be. So information is the base of every good, unfortunately every evil also, but information basically is the base of all kind of activities in today's world, right? I'll give you, he was an American writer, Ian Toffler. He got Nobel Prize for economics in the late, I don't remember the year exactly, but he got a Nobel Prize for economics. He had written a book. The book was called The Future Shock. In that book, he had coined a phrase. That phrase was, information is power. Information, matlab सूचना ही शक्ति है. I'm sure people used to laugh at him at that time. What is he talking about? Information is power. Money power is there, muscle power is there, energy power is there. But what is this information is power? क्या बोल रहा है ये आदमी? But what that man said 40 years back, today it has come true. Today information is the biggest power. For me, for you, for everyone. Right? So, if that is it, if information is the biggest power for me, for you, for everyone, for everything, then what is the biggest power for a criminal of today's age? Have you thought about it? You must think, what is the biggest power for that criminal, the cyber criminal of today's age? Is also information, of course. Whose information? Your information. The more your information goes into the hands of that cyber criminal, the more successfully he will commit cyber crime on you. It's very simple. right? I'll give you my example just for illustration. It is just estimates. They are not some research figures I'm quoting, just estimates. Suppose my name is Varun Kapoor. My job is Indian Police Service. 2 bits of information. Suppose these 2 bits of information leak and go to the wrong hand. The person might be able to commit cybercrime on me, maybe 5% chance. Okay. Now he comes to know my phone number. Third information. Phone number actually is a very big piece of information. It's a carrier of cybercrime. So third bit of information he comes to know. Now his success rate might become 15%. Okay. On top of it, he comes to know I'm a cybersecurity expert. At least I think I am. Fourth bit of information. So now the success rate might become 25%. Now he comes to know my hobby is wildlife photography. I have written books on it also. So fifth information. Now his success rate becomes higher. That's how it goes. The more information about you reaches the wrong hand, more easy it is to commit cybercrime on you. Okay. Now tell me, this information, which becomes the basis of cybercrime on you, is going to the wrong hands. Who gives them this information? Again, you got it. You yourself. Most of it, not all of it, most of it. Most of the information which becomes base of cybercrime on you is given by you yourself. Whole day, 24 hours, we are leaking information about ourselves. We don't even think about it. We keep talking whatever we want on the phone. We keep on posting, sharing, liking, forwarding, whatever content we want. We don't even think what we are doing. So we keep on leaking information about ourselves without thinking 24 hours a day. And when this information reaches the wrong hand, it becomes the basis of cybercrime on you, on us. Then who's going to save this information for you? Again, nobody but you. Because I told you, ये पूरा खेल जो है ना, ये आपके और आपके device के बीच का खेल है. So the information is leaked by you, and it can be also only saved by you, right? So that's why I say information security is the base of cybersecurity. Like in awareness is the key to cybersecurity, information security is the base, the foundation of cybersecurity. Whose information? Your information. Who leaks it? You leak it. And who can save it? Only you can save it. So when will you start? From now. So please start securing your information from today. You will be much safer in the cyberspace. Otherwise, again, you're taking a chance. That's up to you. You are not the only source, I said from the beginning. Many people come to me and talk very big things. They say, sir, these banks collect so much information about us and store on their servers. The servers get hacked sometimes. It's such a danger to us. Yes, it is. Of course it is. Why not? It is a danger to you. These governments, they collect so much information about us and keep like Aadhaar card database. And the newest controversy is this Arogya Setu app data. So much data and so much information about us. Suppose it gets hacked, how much danger we have to face? Yes, of course you'll have to face danger. Why not? But let me tell you one thing. All these organizations, maybe government, banks, whatever, if they collect information about you, they do it for a purpose. They don't do it for fun. And that purpose is your benefit, right? So they collect information about you for a purpose, which is your benefit, and store it. Then they do their best to secure it. Don't worry. They will put in the best systems which are available, the best firewalls, the best AI algorithms, the best security software which is available. They try to put it in place to secure the information they have collected about you for a purpose which is your benefit. Okay? Let them do the job. You do your job, which you never do. Secure your information yourself, because you are the biggest source of information, which is the source of crime on you. So start securing it and let them do their job. You do your job. Suppose I tell you today, stop Facebook, stop WhatsApp. If you listen to me, very nice of you, because the points of leakage will reduce, of course. But will you listen to me? Of course not. So I will not give this kind of security advice. This is no security advice. I will tell you, please do it, but do it carefully. What you're sharing, with whom you're sharing, when you're sharing, how much you're sharing, whether you should share or not share. Who's going to think and who's going to do? You. At least start doing that. That's all I'm saying. So secure your information. Nobody can do it for you but you. Then do it from today, right? One. The second thing about this slide I want to tell you, which is important. I'll do it very fast. It says 2 trillion searches on Google every year, correct? Let's take a small analogy. What is this age? Information age. What is the biggest power in today's time? Information. Which is the biggest source of information in today's time? Google. So which is the biggest power in today's time? Google. A is equal to B, B is equal to C, so A is equal to C. I learned this formula when I was a kid. I'm sure you must have also learned it when you were a kid, right? So that's why these data-based companies, rather these information-based companies, Google, Facebook, WhatsApp, what have you, whatever, they are all the biggest corporations of today's time. Their value is billions of dollars. Why? Have you thought of it? You must have. You must be knowing it. But still, just let's talk about it again. Why are they biggest corporation? Which is the biggest corporation today? Google Alphabet. How? It doesn't produce a needle. But there is nothing they produce, not even a needle. They don't charge you a rupee. They don't even show you an advertisement. Many people come to me and say, oh, advertisement is their main revenue. No. What advertisement does WhatsApp show you? Nothing. And WhatsApp ki value kya hai? You know it. I don't know it today, but 4 years back when Facebook bought it, it was 19.2 billion US dollars. That is 1.5 lakh crore rupees. How many zeros in that? If I ask you, none of you will be able to tell you. It is that much expensive, that much value for a company which doesn't produce a needle, doesn't charge you a rupee, and doesn't even show you an ad. Then where does that money come from? So if you are the main users, consumers, you are paying nothing, but still billions of dollars. And somebody must be paying for it. You know? This is called alternate marketing. Classical marketing, you buy a goods and service, you pay for it. Part of it is the profit, part of it is the cost, right? That's classical marketing. This is alternate marketing. You are the main user, consumer, you pay nothing. But still they have billions of dollars. They say if Google and Facebook and WhatsApp start charging you for the services they're providing you, you will not be able to even use them. They are so expensive. So such expensive services, and you pay nothing for it, and still they're worth billions of dollars. Then somebody else pays for it, you know it. And why do they pay for it? That also you know. They buy your information. Because these companies sell your information, which you keep on putting without even thinking about it the whole day, and they keep selling and keep earning billions of dollars. So they are, and I'm not saying they're doing a crime by selling information, because you give them the authority to sell it. When you sign the digital contract, I agree, without reading the terms of service which are above. And you just say, I agree to all types of services and all types of accounts you create and all types of apps you download. And you keep saying digital signature, you keep affixing by saying, I agree, and without reading what is written on top. Just tell me one thing. You are all kids, not for you, but for your the adults who are here. If I give you an affidavit in the real world, I bring you a stamp paper with some contract and say, sign it. Will you sign it without reading it? No. You will read it 10 times before you affix your signature. But in this, you keep signing without even reading one word of what is written on top. Why? Because you don't see the threat. Don't read it. Karo yaar, chodo. Kya upar kya likha hai, kya karna hai? Apan ko to usko use karna hai. Hai na? This is the problem of the virtual and the real world. Difference. No danger, no threat seen. So activities are absolutely careless and reckless. Right? Anyway, so they don't do any crime while they sell your data because you give them the authority. I'm also not claiming that they sell your information to criminals so that they can do crime on you. No, but they sell your information to make their billions. And when that information, they sell it to somebody, and if that somebody sells it to somebody and then somebody, and it reaches the wrong hand, then it becomes the basis of the horrendous cybercrime on you. Then that's what I want to say, that your data, your information is so expensive that people are earning billions of dollars just by selling it. And your information, on the other hand, is so dangerous that if it reaches the wrong hand, it becomes the basis of a horrendous cyber crime on you. And nobody can save, nobody can save that information for you but you. And so you have to start it from today. Not from today, from now. Next use of cyberspace is commerce. You know it very well. Online banking, online shopping, transactions, transfers, payments, bookings, whatever. Very big use of cyberspace. Third use of cyberspace is communication. You know that also. Communication, contact, emails, and these phone calls and SMSs. A very big source of that is the cyber world. The fourth is social networking. You know that also, to make a network. I'll just stop here for 2 minutes to make you understand the difference between communication and social networking, because they are different. You can read it. They are spelled differently also, but they behave differently also. But people maybe knowing that they're different, but they don't actually implement the difference. And so they get into trouble. So that's why I want to stop here for 2 minutes to make you understand the difference between social networking and communication. Because if you don't, then what will happen? That also I'll tell you. Okay, see, cyber world is a double-edged weapon. Like the real world, you make a mistake, you might become victim of a crime. But in cyber world, if you make a mistake, you might become victim of a crime. But at the same time, you may become a cyber criminal by mistake. Maybe an offender by mistake because you did something wrong, right? So nobody wants to become a criminal or an offender by mistake, right? Your whole future is gone. You're a child. If a case is registered against you, you will never get a job. Neither government, neither public, neither private. Okay, so you have to be very careful that you understand this difference between communication and social networking, and then do social networking so that you don't make a mistake. See, if you don't know the difference between communication and social networking, it's a mistake, correct? And if you, on basis of that, because you don't understand the difference, you do something which is a mistake. So you have actually made a mistake by mistake. But there is no law in any country, forget India, in any country, Vaishali will tell you, there is no law in any country, and there is no lawkeeper in any country you will find who will say that you have made a mistake by mistake. Okay, say sorry, go, don't do it again. You've broken the law of the country, no problem. Just say sorry and go because you didn't know. You made a mistake by mistake. No, a mistake by mistake is also a mistake, and you will be punished for it. So what is the best way? You are a child, you may be children. Let me tell you this also. You're children. Your punishment may be different, but your crime is the same. Okay? So you cannot think that, oh, I'm a child, so nothing is going to happen to me. No. Aajkal to naya kanun aa gaya, and you can be tried as adults also in some cases, right? But even otherwise, if you break the law of the country, you may be a child, your punishment may be different, but your crime is the same. The crime doesn't become nothing because you're a child. So don't keep that also as an excuse. Anyway, so if you make a mistake by mistake, it is still a mistake. So what is the best thing then? That you don't make that mistake. So when will you not make the mistake? One, either you can know the law of the country. The law of the country for cybercrime is called Information Technology Act, IT Act. That is the law of the country for cybercrime. So as a child, for me to expect that you should know IT Act, not possible. So for you to know the IT Act, not possible at your age. The seniors should know, but still it's a challenge. Everyone is not Vaishali, who knows the law better than anybody else. But for anybody else also to know the law is a challenge, right? But you should know. As a police officer, I would love that you know the law of the area in which you work. No problem with that. But it's a challenge. So knowing the law is difficult. So if you cannot know the law, or if it's a challenge for you to know the law, then better you understand this difference between communication and social networking, so you don't make that mistake. So I will try to explain to you the difference. Let's see if I succeed, but listen carefully, and maybe it will save you a lot of trouble, which you may have got into if you don't listen carefully, okay? There is a lot of difference between communication and social networking, but the main difference, which is for our use of this in this issue, is this. Communication is only with those people you know or those people you want to communicate with. Social networking, on the other hand, can be with anyone on this globe. The only thing is that the person should have access probably to internet. So not necessarily you know the person, and not necessarily also you wanted to communicate with that person, but still you may come in touch with that person. That is the difference. And people don't realize it. They think it's communication. And you are doing it only with the people you know. No, it's not that. And then they get into trouble. And then, sorry, yaar, ye kaise ho gaya? I didn't mean that. People, and intelligent people, what are you talking about? Normal people, collectors, I've seen people, district magistrates, senior police officers, army officers doing things which are so ridiculous, and then saying, yaar, ye kya ho gaya? And then they get punished, then they get departmental inquiries, they get dismissed from service. There's so many cases which I can share, but your kids, I don't want to share those cases. But just realize that it is not with the people you know. All of them are not, the people you know or you want to communicate with. I'll give you an example just to prove it. See, if I'm speaking against some person, somebody, if I want to say something against somebody, or some institution, or some organization, or some caste, or some religion, or some community, whatever, if I want to say something against somebody, and I say it to somebody, I email, I communicate to somebody, means I email those things to somebody. I speak it on phone, or if I collect 10 people around me and talk those things. So first of all, I know those people. That's why you can email and call and around you, right? So I know that first of all is that. Second, I actually wanted to tell them these things. That's why I'm telling them through an email or through a phone call or through conversation, because I want to tell them these things. So first, I know them. Second, I want to tell them. Third, they may be like me and may agree with me. Yes, yes, you're right. This is right. What you said is good, correct. I agree. Now, if the same thing I post on social networking or forward or like or share, then it might go around and reach a person who doesn't agree with me. Who I never wanted also to tell those things, but it has reached him or her, and they may not agree with me and say, no, we don't agree with you. And suppose the report and what I have said or I have posted or liked or shared or forwarded is against the law of this land, then what will happen? I'll be punished for it. Very simple. The societies all across the world are being torn, not only India, all across the world, societies are being torn apart by irresponsible social networking behavior of citizens, which includes children. So you should be responsible in your social networking behavior. It is not communication. Okay, I think it is very clear. I will tell you a case also so that it will become even clearer, but it is not communication because it can be with anyone. Okay, I'll tell you a case. There's a place called Khandwa. Khandwa is a district in Madhya Pradesh, right? Khandwa, somebody posted something against some religion in Facebook. Why he did it, I don't know. I never talked to that guy. Why he did it, he might have done it just for fun, just to show that I am so, activist type, just for mischief, or just like that to act smart. Done for that against some religion. As a result, there was riots in Khandwa. Many people lost their lives. There was curfew for many days, and there was a lot of trouble. We wrote to Facebook to find out about digital footprints. I'll tell you about that ahead. IP addresses. That which is the IP address from which this post was generated. Facebook replied to us saying that it was not our server which was used to post. It was a proxy server. That guy. I don't know why he did it, but he thought he was very smart also, that I will do it through a proxy or maybe a new technology and I will never be caught. But he didn't know that that is not possible. You can try whatever technology you want, you can still be caught, right? That I will tell you ahead. But anyway, he had used a proxy server. That proxy was from Slovakia. We wrote to that proxy in Slovakia. I drafted the letter myself, telling what has happened actually. And that proxy gave us all the details, all the IP addresses, we needed. We arrested that person. He was tried and he was sentenced by court. And you know for how long he was sentenced? He was sentenced for life imprisonment because he did not even know the law. And which law he didn't know? IT Act, there is a law, there is a section called 66F. 66F IT Act is cyber terrorism. If you transmit anything in the cyberspace which causes terror in society, you are liable for cyber terrorism. He was found guilty and sentenced for life. Okay. Now I tell you one very small thing. If he knew that he will be caught, which he thought he will not be, and if he knew that once he's caught, he will be sentenced for life, do you think he would have done it? Never. So please, awareness is very important, right? So awareness is knowing and doing, as I told you. So know and do. Communication, social networking are different things. You can communicate whatever you want, but social networking, you cannot come and do whatever you want. Okay, you should do it responsibly, right? First of all. Secondly, just one more thing. I said even sharing, forwarding, and liking can make you a offender. Why? It is not your content. It is somebody else's content that you have shared, forwarded, liked. But still, you may become offender in cyber world. Why? Because of the law again. There's a key word used in the IT Act. It is called transmission. In the virtual world, all the sections are based on that. In the virtual world, if you transmit anything which is obscene, maybe, which is illegal, illegal against some person, institution, religion, caste, whatever. So if it's something which you're transmitting which is illegal or obscene, then you are doing that is something. If I host something means suppose I do a illegal post and you like, then what do? That post is transmitted to your friends. You have transmitted it further. So you become part of that offense. Though that content is not yours, you cannot say that मैंने तो नहीं लिखा था, मैंने तो नहीं post किया था, वो तो वरुण कपूर ने किया था, but आपने उसको like करके उसको आगे transmit कर दिया. तो आप भी उस अपराध का part बन गए. So only posting and hosting should not be done responsibly. Liking, sharing, and forwarding should also be done responsibly. This is what I want to say. Last is the use of cyberspace as entertainment. Entertainment, you know, movies, games, and songs. Big source of it is the cyber world. So this taken together, when you're doing these 5 things and activities, and with a device, then you are living in the cyber world. Okay. Now, last thing before I move forward, how much time actually you're spending in the cyber world? That we must talk about. I did a research. This is a research, and this is no estimate. It's a scientific research I carried out 3 years back in Indore. Indore is a city of 45 lakh people. It's a big city, 4.5 million. And here I carried out a research 3 years back. The figures must have changed. 3 years is a long time in today's period. It's exponentially changing world. That's what we call it. So figures must have changed a lot, but at least you'll get an idea. So I did a research here 3 years back of high school students like you, some of you, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And the second part was for college students. How much time of one day do people of this group spend in the virtual world? My figures of 3 years back were this. High school students, 10th, 11th, and 12th, spend 22% of the time of one day in the cyberspace. And college students, 29.8%, means nearly 30%. That was 3 years back. That 30% can have increased and become 50% now, I will have no doubt. So half our lives we are spending in the virtual world. Half our lives. What are we doing about security? Anything? Are you trying to secure your information? Are you knowing the difference between communication and social networking and then doing responsible social networking behavior? Think, are you changing your mindset when you go into the virtual world, whatever I was saying? You think about it. And if you're doing nothing, that means you are absolutely open to all type of cybercrime. Last concept before I go to the crime is called digital footprints. This is what I told you before. Digital footprints is how we catch cyber criminals. We means police. So you must know about it, because you then must take care about it. That's why I'm telling you what it is. Okay. I will start with the real world. In real world, there are many types of evidences. The best evidence is this. This means the fingerprint. Of course, I'm wearing a glove, but fingerprint. Fingerprint is the ridges and valley pattern at the end of your fingertips. That is your fingerprint. That is the best piece of evidence. Why? You know that also because it is unique. There is no other person in the world who has got fingerprints like you. Correct? You know that. So if your fingerprints are found on any scene of crime, then you cannot say you were not there. Why? Because first of all, there is nobody else who has fingerprints like you. And secondly, there is no technology where somebody can detach your fingers and make your fingerprint somewhere and reattach. There is no technology. So you were there. You have to tell me what you were doing there. Okay. Best evidence, fingerprints, real world. Similarly, in virtual world, the best evidence is digital footprints. Why? Because they are unique, like fingerprints. But listen carefully. Fingerprints are unique to a person. Digital footprints are unique to a user. User of what? User of the device. Because what is a digital footprint? A digital footprint is data which you leave behind when you do any activity in the digital world. Data which you leave behind. वो डेटा जो आप पीछे छोड़ जाते हो जब आप डिजिटल वर्ल्ड में कोई एक्टिविटी करते हो वर्चुअल वर्ल्ड में, वो डेटा होता है आपका डिजिटल फुटप्रिंट. और वो डिजिटल फुटप्रिंट भी यूनिक होता है ना? और क्योंकि किसको यूनिक होता है? यूजर को यूनिक होता है. किसके यूजर को? डिवाइस के यूजर को. क्योंकि वो डेटा किसका जनरेटेड है? बाय द डिवाइस. इट्स अ डिवाइस बेस्ड वर्ल्ड. So like a fingerprint is unique to a person, digital footprint is unique to the user. I might be having 2 phones, then I will generate 2 digital footprints, but both of them will be connected to me because SIM is issued in my name. So it becomes indirectly unique to the person. That is why it is such a strong piece of evidence. Fingerprint unique to user, digital footprint unique to, fingerprint unique to a person, digital footprint unique to a user and indirectly to the person. That's why such a strong piece of evidence. But according to me, it is even a stronger piece of evidence than a fingerprint. Why am I saying that? I'll tell you. See, I'm wearing gloves. Suppose I wear a glove and go anywhere. Do you think my fingerprint will be left behind? Of course not. I can hide my fingerprints. Suppose I go somewhere without gloves and I leave and I touch something and my fingerprints are left behind. I realize it. I take out my handkerchief and I wipe it. Do you think my fingerprint will be left behind again? No. I can remove my fingerprints. So I can remove my fingerprints. I can hide my fingerprints. I can even modify my fingerprints, but I can never remove, hide, modify, or even change my digital footprints. Once it is made, it is made. Many big cyber criminals come, they think they are very big cyber criminals. They come up with new technology like proxy server, like Tor browser, like darknet, new things they come up with to do what? To mask or cover their digital footprints. You remove the layers one by one, you will reach the original digital footprints because they cannot be removed, changed, modified, hidden, whatever. I'll give you an example again to prove it. Khandwa thing I already told you. I'll tell you another one. There's a place called Darknet. You know it. Darknet is 75% of all internet activities is Darknet. And they say, oh, very dangerous place. All illegal activities are done in Darknet. Oh, very dangerous. Maybe it is. 25% surface net, what we all use. Okay. So that 75% Darknet, people feel that it's very dangerous. You can do anything there and get away with it. You think again, please. Because I'll tell you why. There was a site in the darknet called Silk Route. You might have heard about it, right? Now, Silk Route was a site which people thought was invincible. You could order anything illegal on Silk Route because they used different protocols, different browsers. Tor browser was used there. They used to feel Tor browser is what? The onion router. Like the onion has got so many layers, so the Tor browser also has layers. But ultimately, when you remove the layers, you will reach the original, won't you? You reach the core, you will reach it. So anyway, so this Silk Route, you could go there, you could use a different browser and go there and order anything illegal. Drugs, child pornography, wildlife parts, weapons, anything illegal you could order, and you could pay in bitcoins. Again, people have this kind of, it's a virtual currency. People have this feeling that bitcoins, you can never trace the trail. Again, you're wrong. But anyway, so go there, order anything illegal, pay in bitcoins, and it would reach people's doorstep. And the fallacy was that, oh, they can never be destroyed, caught, because it's a technology, so much technology. But I'll tell you, European police organization, it is called Europol. They combined with FBI of US and launched a joint investigation against Silk Route. And within 10 days, they uncovered the actual digital footprints. They caught the entire gang. And the gang leader was from United Kingdom. Now he's sentenced for life imprisonment in UK. So don't ever, nobody should ever think that you can do this with your digital footprints. You can change them or hide them or modify them. So what I wanted to say was this, that make your digital footprints as good as possible. Don't do anything which will get you into trouble because you think that you will not be caught. No, you cannot do this with your digital footprints. You will be caught. So make your digital footprints as good as possible so that you don't ever get into trouble. That's what I wanted to tell you. Okay, now I'll go to the crime. Before I start the crime part, I just want to talk to the teachers who are here, to the parents who are here. I'm also a father of 2 sons. One of my sons is in school, high school, 11th, and one of my sons is in college. And I'm also a parent. So I'm addressing parents and teachers. Okay, before I start the crime. I want to tell you one thing. In the real world, we do 2 things to make our child's future as bright as we can, right? To make our next generation as good as we can. What are those 2 things? Some people still don't succeed. That's something else. But as a parent or as a teacher, it's a job. So the 2 things are, first is provision. We provide the best for our child, our ward. As a teacher, the child is your ward. You know, under your care and protection. For a parent, it's even more. So 2 things we do. One is provision, best environment, best security, best education, whatever. Best we can, we do. So provision, very important for a child's future. Second is monitoring. We monitor our child's activities. From morning to night again, we do it without even thinking and anybody telling, right? That's part of parenting. And what is monitoring? Do you know that? Monitoring, again, people feel is only watching and looking, and no, it is not. Like awareness is knowing and doing, monitoring is also looking, watching and seeing, and then doing something about it. Not just looking, watching and seeing and then forgetting. So we monitor our child's activities from morning to evening, morning to night. What does he eat? When does she sleep? Who does she talk to? How much does he eat? How much does he study? Whole day we are busy in doing this, but that's part of parenting. And when we see some problem, we do something about it also, right? That's monitoring. So monitoring and provision. These are two things which every parent and every teacher should do for their children as much as they can, so that they can build a bright next generation, right? And all of us do it to our best of our ability, this I'm sure. But now the virtual world. 50% of the time, our children are now in the virtual world. What is the monitoring you're doing? Just think about it. I think it will be zero. It will not be anything more. I have got experience all over India. I'm telling you from experience. This is not just talk. This is experience. There are reasons for it. I'll not get into it now because it will unnecessarily stretch out the debate. But monitoring is zero. But monitoring you have to do. It's a tough job. I have got 2 sons. I'm telling you, it's not that easy. But just because it's a tough job, you cannot say कि मैं नहीं कर सकता. It's a tough job, but it is your job and you have to do it. So please start monitoring your children in the virtual world. And the children who are here, you might mind what I'm saying, because again, see, I'm speaking from experience. You might mind what I'm saying, but it is for your good. If you can give me an example, why your father or mother or your teacher will be interested in what you do online, other than your benefit, then you please say it. If it is for your benefit, then you better accept it. So parents start monitoring, children start accepting that monitoring. It should not be over monitoring कि पागल ही कर दो उसको. ये नहीं मैं बोल रहा, but मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि आप monitor करना शुरू करो. साइबर वर्ल्ड भी, क्योंकि वही आपके बच्चे की भविष्य को सुधारेगा, निखारेगा और बचाएगा उस बच्चे को, right? Because again, very important awareness, I told you, is the key to cyber security. So awareness is important for children, definitely, like for all of us. But for children, awareness is not enough. They need something more. They need monitoring. Okay, so that is what I wanted to say. Before I will start talking about the crime. Let's talk about one by one. Fast, I'll do it. There's so many types of crime which are happening against children. Actually, they are one of the biggest targets of cyber crime, unfortunately. But let's talk about the important ones very fast. But because it's already 1:30, so we have. I'll talk for about 15-20 minutes more, if you don't mind. Then we can have the questions. Okay. So first type of crime I'd like to talk to you about bullying, cyber bullying. Bullying, first leave the cyber. The bullying part. What is bullying? Troubling someone, hurting someone, insulting someone, किसी को नीचे दिखाना, किसी को बेइज्जत करना और किसी की इज्जत के साथ खेलना, ये करना, ये होती है bullying. And who does that bullying? The bullying is done by another child. That's the worst part. And for what? For his or her entertainment. That's it. And I've seen so many cases. I'm very against this crime. I've seen so many cases of children, only bullying I'm talking, Abhi. I've seen so many cases of children losing this, because of this bullying. They stop eating, they stop studying, they stop going out, they lose all their confidence, they become depressive, they even go to suicide, the links, just for somebody else's entertainment, another child's. And if I'm telling you, child will never tell you, you'll have to monitor and find out that this is happening. Child will never tell. And if it goes on for too long, the damage is permanent. This also I've seen. If it has gone on for too long, if you nip it in the bud, if you monitor and do something, and it's okay. But if you don't, and it goes on for too long, the damage becomes permanent. Then it is not reversible also. That's my experience. So that I'm very much against it. I'm very against it. And I have, because I believe that no child has a right to spoil some other child's future just for his or her entertainment. Such children should be taken strict action against. And if they are if they have to be sent to jail or to remand home, that should be also done. You have no right to spoil somebody else's future for your entertainment. I'm very against it. And those school authorities who tolerate this kind of bullying should also be punished. you will be with me. Abetment to crime is also a crime. This you should know. Okay. I'm very much against. But when in bullying itself so bad, when you add technology, it becomes cyberbullying. It becomes even worse. Why? Because of this. Spreads faster, wider audience, follows children home. It becomes many times, thousands of times more dangerous than normal bullying. When I used to go to the seminars and all, I used to talk to children. I used to ask them, bullying is very bad. Yeah, yes. Why is it bad? So one is that we feel very insulted, we feel very hurt. वो ठीक है चलो. और ये कि जब दूसरे देख लेता हूँ, तब और भी बुरा लगेगा, because then it becomes matter of prestige and your self-respect and everything. Now, normal bullying, somebody is bullying somebody, maybe 2-3 children are listening or seeing, so the child feels even worse. But cyberbullying, you press one button, one click of a mouse, the whole school can come to know. The whole group can come to know. It is just, that's why it spreads faster, wider audience. That's why the effect is much worse and follows children home 24 hours. Because I told you, I have 2 sons. My sons come home from their school and college. They go online with the device. So this bullying is there in school and college, and then it continues online 24 hours. So obviously it is much more dangerous. So this is a very bad crime, and it is actually becoming even worse. And people to check it, parents, by monitoring, and even teachers and professors. It's your job also. You can't allow this to happen in your campuses and people getting away with it. And if somebody, if you know it and you are ignoring it, then I think you're making a very big mistake. You should be punished. There's a very big school here in Indore. I heard some cases of cyberbullying there. I went to the principal. I told him, I said, I will send you to jail also. Don't do this. Don't let people spoil other people's future. That future of that child may be nothing, but nobody else has a right to ruin it. That's all I want to say. Okay. This is how it is done. I'm not very interested in how it is done. There are many ways, and many children are very enterprising nowadays. They know all the ways. But I will tell you the solutions. That's what I want to talk to you about. If you're being cyberbullied, this is what you should do. That's what I suggest. First is don't respond. Best response is no response. That's what I believe. You don't, first of all, if somebody bullies you, you start bullying back, then you also become a bully. What is the difference? So you get down to that level. That person is an EVA bully. You are going to encourage him or her to become even worse. So इसीलिए best response is no response. That's what I believe. Second is block the bully, unfriend, break the contact. That's second. Save the evidence. That is very important. Because tomorrow, if you have to make a report, then you must have proof. Evidence save how? You know how to do it. Screenshot or take a print screen or maybe save that video, bullying video, whatever. That content should be saved. So that in case tomorrow you have to go and report, then you must have proof. Then it becomes easier, right? Then set up a new account, make a report, talk to an adult. You are children. You are very intelligent. I know it. You feel it, that we know everything. That's also fine. But still you're not that mature. You may be very intelligent. You may be very knowledgeable. You may be very aware also. Chalo, ye bhi मान लिया. But आपको फिर भी guidance चाहिए. फिर भी maturity नहीं है. Experience, when you grow older, you will find out there is no second replacement for experience. There is no replacement. Knowledge, books can never replace experience. This I believe. That's my belief. Anyway, so you're not that experienced as yet. You still need to talk to an adult, talk to your teacher, talk to your brother, sister, talk to your parent, whoever you have whoever you want to share it with, talk to them, seek guidance, take the next step. ऊपर वाला तो करना ही है. आगे वाले के बात कर रहा हूं मैं. After that guidance, what to do about it? Don't feel you are not responsible. Children don't tell. I've told you now, but you don't hide. If the person, it'll be too late one day. So the person who's doing it, beware. You should be in jail according to me, or remand home or whatever. Just because you're a child, you're not supposed to get away with crime. And those people who are suffering it, don't suffer it. Please talk to somebody. Seek guidance, and if necessary, even report. I'll tell you a case of which will prove it to you. This is in IIM Indore, Indian Institute of Management. It's not even a school, it's a college. And there was a girl who used to study there. She still studies there, of course. She was not a child. She was 24 years old. She was a lady. And she was a brilliant student. She was a gold medalist, bright future. but something went wrong. And she stopped studying, and the behavior pattern must have changed. This is the job of the parent, as I told you now, or the teacher. You have to monitor. So the parents monitor her very well. I'm very happy. The parents should be. They must have monitored that this girl is suddenly stopped studying, suddenly stopped going out, suddenly, lost interest in everything. She was so brilliant. She was a great artist. She was a sportsman. She was a brilliant student. She was everything. Then that's in the real world, which is causing this. Then there must be something online. So they got her to me, monitoring, knowing, watching, looking, and then doing. They got her to me. I talked to her. She told me she was being subject to cyberbullying, very bad cyberbullying, right? All types, obscenity, very bad. So that we, as I told you, we followed the digital footprints, and we found the person who did it, who was responsible. It was her best friend. And she was another girl. It has to be some very big criminal who's doing it. Another girl. Her best friend. The long story, I will not get into. We took the requisite steps, whatever we had to. Now she's fine. The future is okay. But I believe that if those parents had missed it for a month or so, it would have been permanent. Then even me or nobody could have done anything. Even if you catch the criminal also, there would have been no improvement for her at least. Okay, but she's okay now. And that's what I'm saying. If you are suffering bullying, don't suffer it. Please take guidance and report it. And those who are doing it, don't do it. Because you are not, it's entertainment के लिए ये करना कोई मजाक नहीं है. और आपके अगर उसने रिपोर्ट कर दी जो बच्चे को करना चाहिए, तो आपके खिलाफ बहुत बुरी कार्रवाई हो जाएगी. फिर आप नहीं बोलना कि मेरे को पता नहीं था. आज के बाद आपको पता चल गया है, अवेयर हो गए हैं, तो आप कुछ अवेयरनेस मीन्स कुछ करिएगा. अब अगर जो लोग कर रहे हैं बिल्कुल मत करिए. ओके, इट्स नॉट अ पार्ट ऑफ अ हेल्दी ग्रोइंग अप सिस्टम. ओके, सी दिस. दोस्त ने व्हाट्सएप पर इतना सताया कि युवती बोली जहर खा लूंगी. ये तो इंदौर की खबर है. दोस्त इन इन्वर्टेड कॉमर्स, मतलब क्या? कौन सा दोस्त? वर्चुअल दोस्त, जिसको कभी मिले नहीं, कभी देखा नहीं, फिर भी दोस्त. इतना, फिर भी उसने भी इतना सताया कि that girl had to say I'm going to eat poison. This is happening. This should not. Okay, that's what I wanted to tell you. Second is online gaming. It's not a crime, but online gaming is a big problem which children have to face. Just look at the word. It is online gaming. It is not online game. So parents and all, if teachers, if you think that your child is playing a game, you think again, because this is not a game. This is online gaming. It is a business. ये धंधा है. ये गेम, ये खेल नहीं है. तो अगर आप सोचो कि मेरा बच्चा तो बैठ के सिर्फ गेम ही तो खेल रहा है, तो उसमें क्या है? खेलने दो. He is not playing a game. He is part of a business. And when does that business run well? When the child or the person who uses it as much as he can. Then the business does well because they earn money from your usage. Correct? But what does the World Health Organization say? The World Health Organization says that if a child is doing too much of online gaming, then he is or she is becoming a victim of mental disorder. So it is not even addiction. It is now beyond that. It is a disease. So do we want a child to be diseased? Of course not. Do you as children want to be diseased? Of course not. So what do you have to do? You have to take steps for it. There are cases when people start skipping school. They lose their appetite. They lose their sleep because of online gaming, of course. There is a case of a South Korean teenager who played an online game for 50 hours without a break. No sleep, no food, nothing. He kept playing. And what happened? He had a heart attack and he died. Teenager. He just see, this is going to that level. Exercise nahi karna, mental depression, suicide, violent behavior. I was just reading this news. 13-year-old kids to play online game. And then if you should, as a teacher, as a parent, sometimes see these games, content. Just see it once. Horrible. Full of blood, gore, bullets, dead bodies, drugs, sex, rape. Horrible. So this content, if it goes to children in the name of a game, this is criminal. So who is going to stop it? You are going to stop it by monitoring it. So how are you going to stop it? Fix content, fix time. Very difficult job. I know it. I told you, na, do bachche hamare bhi hai. Baar bol raha hu. Very difficult job, but it has to be done. Just because it's difficult, you can't say I can't do it. So fix time. There has to be a time fix. The children also who are here, please listen. You must fix the time because you also don't want to fall sick, I'm sure, right? So fix the time and fix the content. You cannot play all types of online games, right? Just because they are available. So you play them. No. You will only play those which are age suitable. So fix content and fix time. That is what we have to do. Next is online grooming. This is also a very big problem. Grooming means what? Grooming means to get ready somebody. But in this case, to get ready for the wrong thing. That is online grooming. Okay. And it is going on a lot with children because of two traits of children that make them susceptible to this type of crime. What are those two traits? Again, these are not traits, these are instincts. Every child will have it. First is adventure, spirit of adventure. The younger you are, the more adventurous you are. As you grow older with experience and with whatever, your that adventurism goes down. That's why that spirit of adventure and innocence. These two things are exploited by these criminals to commit this kind of crime. It's a very bad crime actually, and it is happening a lot. And we don't even know about it. That's the worst because you don't monitor. Yeah? So I'll tell you, it is because of those two traits. How one cyber crime is involved in it. This cyber crime is called social engineering. You listen to it very carefully. Social engineering is a crime which causes this kind of online grooming. This is the base of it. Social engineering means what? See, this building is made of bricks and cement and mortar and iron. It is. If you put all these things in the ground in front of my office, do you think this building will come up? No, it has to be engineered into a building, right? So similarly, your information, which is mostly put out by you and by somebody else also a little bit, but mostly by you, which you have to control from today, as I told you. But anyway, your information is floating around out there in cyberspace, a lot of it. So these criminals, they will get it all together and then they will make a structure and see whether this structure is of their use, and then they will attack you with this structure. That is the information structure, which you have put out yourself, and then you cannot survive. Then you cannot be safe. That's why I'm saying secure information. So that information is not available, and that cannot be used against you. Okay. So this is what they do. Children, unfortunately, keep on posting everything about themselves because they are, as I told you, innocent. Where they go, who they meet, what they wear, who are their friends, what do their parents do, when do their parents get up, how much do the parents fight, what are the movies they see, what are the clothes they wear, everything they keep telling online, right? So it all keeps reaching, that information is available. These kind of criminals, these online groomers, they can collect this information and then they can fix their target. Everyone is not a target. Some are. They fix the target, they choose the target first, and they fix the target based on social engineering. And once the target is fixed, then it's very easy for them. They make a fake profile. They know the child likes, dislikes, activities, habits, everything they know first. Then they will do it. Then they will make a fake profile in some name of the same age as a child. They are middle-aged people. They'll act as if they are the child's age, but studying in some other school and all that, and send a friend request. And we are, whatever we see, the child believes innocence and adventure. चलो दोस्ती तो दोस्ती, सबसे दोस्ती कर लिया, दोस्ती हो गई, फिर दो बातें हो गई, फिर जब बातें हो गई तो फिर भरोसा हो गया, फिर दोस्त बन गए जैसे उसमें आया था, online friend, दोस्ती हो गई. फिर जब when these criminals realize that now this child is okay, now I can take the next step, then they do it. So they will tell कि अरे यार मैंने एक बार पता है ये किया था मैंने. They'll tell something made up, some story, एक बार मैं ये गलती करी थी मुझे पता है ऐसे कर दिया था. वो child is innocent and adventurous. You will also tell that हाँ मैंने भी एक बार ऐसा किया था पता है. तो बस once that secret is shared, that's it. That's what they wanted. Then starts the blackmail. Then starts the bullying. Oh, you did like this? I'll tell your parents. Oh, you did like this? I will tell everyone in your school. Oh, this is what you did? I will post it in the group to all your friends. Something like that. And then, as I said, adventurous to ho, but innocent बहुत तो एक बार फंस गए तो फिर पता नहीं क्या करना. फिर और फंसते जाते हैं. They don't know what to do then. Okay, so then it goes. Then this all get the photographs, and it even goes to pedophilia. Pedophilia means sexual exploitation of children, right? So this is it goes to that, and it is very sad. And I'm telling you again and again, children have to be very aware, but you have to be monitoring them, and monitoring has to be done by you, right? So you must do it from today. And children ke liye, please, I told you, information security and so many things. These are the bases how you can protect yourself from this kind of crime. This was a case, a very sad case of Amanda Todd. She was also online grooming. She became a victim of that. She was from Canada. She was a 15-year-old girl who became a victim of this online grooming. And then she had to send her photographs and all those kind of things. And ultimately, she committed suicide. And before she committed suicide, she posted an online video on YouTube. And she showed these kind of flashcards and told her whole story. And very sad. And the whole world was, in a way, shaken up with this, that this kind of crime is also going on. And till then, people didn't know what was happening because monitoring, zero. The guy who was caught, his name was Aiden Coben. He was from Holland, just imagine, Holland and Canada. And he was doing it with other children also. And he has been sentenced in Holland. But Holland has got very weak, I'll not say weak, but that's the laws they have, which are not very stringent. But he's waiting for extradition to Canada. By the way, Canada also does not have very stringent laws, but that's where this case stands. The next one, cyberstalking. This is what I like to talk to you about is next. Stalking is following someone. This is one of the crime which is exclusively done with women and girls exclusively. So the women and girls have to be more careful in this kind of crime. So that's why the women and girls who are here, please pay more attention. The boys also should know what it is, and but that I will tell you later what you should know about this. But women and girls definitely pay more attention. Stalking means following, repeatedly following someone is stalking, right? In the real world. But in the real world, the girl or the lady or the woman will see the stalking, right? We'll see the stalker. So we'll see the danger. So we'll see the threat. The girl goes out of the house, and every day that one man is standing in the street corner. She sees the threat. Then she comes out of the school, and that same man is following her bus or her on a motorcycle or a cycle or whatever. The same, she again sees the threat. So if she sees it for 2, 3, 4 days, then she will do something about it because she can see the danger. She might tell her father, mother. She might tell her brother, sister. She might tell her teacher, whatever, that this person is following me continuously. So you've seen the threat, you've seen the danger, so you've done something about it. So you may have protected yourself better. This is real world. What is cyberstalking? This is cyberstalking. Sending some repeated missed calls, repeated SMSs, repeated friend requests, repeated chatting attempts, repeated emails. This is cyberstalking. Can you see the threat here? Who's doing it? You cannot. It may be somebody who's studying with you, your classmate, just pulling your leg, just being mischievous, which is also wrong. It is not right. I will tell you further why. That is also wrong. But it may be somebody just trying to pull your leg, just trying to trouble you. Okay, maybe that. But maybe a psychopath also. That you will never know. Because you will only have that missed call. And then when you won't be able to see the danger, then what is going to be your response? Arey chodo yaar. Forget it. क्या छोटी मोटी बात है. बार-बार friend request ही तो आ रही है. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? That is why it is such a dangerous crime. Because you don't see the danger, so you don't do anything. Nobody does it. I'm not blaming anybody for it, but that's how it is. That's another human response. When you cannot see the danger, then you will not do anything about it. So that is the problem. I'll tell you a case. It will illustrate everything. It's a case from Bangalore. There's a lady. She's a lady. It's not even a child. She was working in the IT sector. Imagine, and she was being cyber stalked, and she did nothing about it. But she became very irritated by it, rather, or very disturbed. She thought somebody around her was watching her and doing all these things. So she left her job, and then she left the city. But she went to another city called Pune and took another job in the IT sector firm, of course. And what is the first thing we all do at our, not us, but at least the youth, but we also do it. Everyone is doing it. Something good happens to you. You go to some good place. You see something beautiful. You meet somebody wonderful. What are you going to do? First thing we do is we take a selfie. And second thing we do is we post it online. Because where do you have to show your happiness and your love and your great interest? Where do we show nowadays? In the social sphere. So that's what that woman also did. Imagine, she knew she was being cyberstalked. She was from IT sector, but still she took such a selfie and she posted it online and she wrote, "Me in my new office." She did not even say which place. She did not even say which office. But I will tell you further how, even if you don't say, I will know where you are. Technological based crime. I told you before. So she posted such a thing online. That person came to know where she is. He landed up there one day in Pune. And when she came down from her office in the evening, it was dark and passed by. She didn't even know who he was. He recognized her very well. When she was passing by, he told her that you want to run from me. You wanted to run away from me. Huh? Then she must have realized that, oh, ye to wahi aadmi hai. And then must have got a shock. But he said, "Acha, you want to run? Let's see how far you can go." So she got scared. She must have tried to run. He followed her. He stabbed her 5 times and killed her. Because he was no person just trying to pull her leg. He was a psychopath. And she never saw the danger. She thought it was just somebody troubling her. It is happening continuously. It is not such a small thing. See, this is the case of Indore. I'm in Indore, so I've got cuttings from Indore. But these things must be happening all over the world. India, definitely. Stabbed 38 times by FB stalker, woman dies. This happened in 2018. This girl's name is written as Supriya Jain. She was from a district called Damoh, which is near about 500 kilometers from Indore. After studying there, she came to work in Indore because this is a commercial capital of my state. Somebody followed her from there. He was studying in the same college as her. She did not even know him, but he must have been having that one-sided love kind of thing. Something was there. He followed her here and he kept on checking her profile and sending her friend requests and making phone missed calls and all that. She didn't see the danger, as I told you, and she didn't do anything about it. And one day he got hold of her in Vijayanagar. Vijayanagar is the busiest intersection in Indore in the evening time, and stabbed her 38 times to death. And you know what he stabbed her with? He didn't even have a knife. He had a sickle with what you cut grass, no? That sickle. With that, he stabbed her 38 times in 6 o'clock in the busiest intersection in the city. She died, of course. But I'm sure there must be thousands of people there. Nobody helped her. And I'm sure they must be not even helping. They must be taking photographs and films. This is what our society has come to. Okay, so you are on your own. You have to protect yourself. And in the cyber world, anyway, you're on your own. And nobody can protect you, which I've already told you. So this is what is happening. In the end, I would like to just give you some advice to the girls and the women who are here. My advice, your wish. You want to follow it? Do it. Don't want to follow it? Your wish, as I said. Okay. So my advice to the girls and women who are here is this. If you ever feel you are being stalked in the cyber world, if you ever feel it also, you don't ignore it. There are reasons for it. I'm not going to discuss it. It's going to take a lot of time. But girls in India don't report. But you should not ignore. You must report if you feel you're being cyber stalked, because you don't know who is doing it. It might be, again, as I said, somebody just pulling your leg, your person studying with you, some boy, somebody else who may be harmless. Okay. But that is also wrong, actually. Why? I'll tell you. But it may not be. It may be a psychopath. Then you lose much more than your sleep. Okay. So if you ever feel you are being cyber stalked, please report. This is for the girls and the women. And for the boys who are here, I would like to request you one thing. You are not doing it. I'm sure of it. You're all very good people. I have no doubt about that. I'm not doubting anybody. But you might be knowing somebody who's up to it, this kind of mischief, or somebody, your sibling or some friend. Stop them also. Don't do this cyber stalking business. I told you what it is. Bar missed call, bar friend request. Don't do it for fun. First of all, you will cause great pain to that girl you are doing the stalking with. You will cause a great pain. As I said, pain means you'll make her lose sleep. She'll be scared. She won't know who's doing it. Okay. First of all, that you don't want that to happen. And second, if she reports, which she should, as I'm saying, if you feel you're being cyberstalked, you should report. So if she reports, then you'll be caught, because your digital footprints will not let you escape. And when you're caught, what will happen is what is written in red. 354D is a section of Indian Penal Code. It is not IT Act. There was one Nirbhaya case in India, very sad. After that, the government made some new laws for women's security in our country. One of the laws they made, new law, was 354D section of the Indian Penal Code. It says that if you cyberstalk a woman in India, you can be sentenced to 7 years in jail. So if the girl reports, which she should, you will be caught. Because of your digital footprints, you will not be able to survive, and your digital footprints you cannot prove are not yours, like your fingerprints, so you will be punished also. And if you are punished just for just doing some mischief, your whole future will be gone. So use this. Don't use this every time. Use this. Whole future gone just for mischief, don't do it. You don't do it, girls, please report. If you feel it, that is the best way to fight cyber stalking. Next is Facebook stalking. I'll just tell you I think two more after this, then I'll finish. Facebook stalking I want to talk to you about, because I don't mean Facebook stalking, I actually mean social media crimes. Social media crime is so easy to do crime on you in the social media. So many, in the beginning also I've told you, grooming and all that, but it is so easy to commit a crime on anybody in the social sphere that it is laughable. We are doing nothing about it. See, before I go further in this, I would like to talk to you about a crime called phishing. You must know about phishing. Phishing is a crime which, according to me, is the worst cyber crime going around. Phishing, you must have heard about it also. Phishing, you must be feeling, हाँ पैसा चला गया किसी का कोई email से कोई ना phone call करके पैसा ले लिया and all that. Yeah, okay. Phishing is the basis of many financial crimes, no doubt about it. But phishing is also the base of most of the cyber crimes which are occurring, including social crimes. Phishing is the base of stalking. Phishing is the base of grooming. Phishing is the base of bullying. Phishing is the base of child pornography. Phishing is the base of child sexual exploitation. The base is where? Phishing. So if you understand about phishing and you protect yourself against phishing, I believe you can protect yourself against a very big section of cybercrime. So please, it's not what I wanted to say, but I'm going to tell you about phishing. I've heard a lot of cyber experts in this country also, big names. ये वो, मैं वो नाम नहीं लूँगा, but मैं ये जरूर जानता हूँ, मैंने सुना है उनमें से किसी को, कहीं को, they will come and talk very big things. They will come and say artificial intelligence and cyber warfare and big data analytics and metadata and I don't know what all they'll talk, blockchain technology and all that. They'll say so many things. And people like us, like you, like listening, will be so impressed. अरे यार ये तो बड़ा यार बहुत इसको तो जानकारी तो कमाल की है. But हमें क्या फायदा हुआ? हमें कितना याद है? कुछ भी नहीं. तो ये मैं नहीं करता. मैं हमेशा बात करता हूँ बिल्कुल सिंपल लैंग्वेज में. अगर आप में से कोई साइबर क्राइम का नाम भी नहीं अगर आपने सुना होगा, तो मेरे इस बातचीत के बाद आपको कुछ आइडिया तो लग गया होगा. So I talk in that language. That's why I'm going to talk in that language about phishing to you. Please understand what phishing is. If you understand phishing and this, because I will tell you how to save yourself against phishing also. If you understand it, you will have protected yourself against a very big part of crime, cyber crime. Okay, but do it and do it every time. Okay, phishing comes from the English word fishing. I will not tell you the whole detail, but you know it comes from fishing means machi pakadna. The fisherman goes to the river or the lake or the sea or whatever and throws a line, and then he waits. Every fish doesn't get caught. Some fishes, only one fish gets caught. The fisherman's work is done. He never wanted to catch the thousands anyway. Similarly, you remove F, add a PH, it becomes phishing, it becomes cybercrime. So crime mein aap technology add kar do, it becomes phishing. It is a technologically empowered cybercrime, worse cybercrime. Concept is the same. The one SMS, thousands of people you send it to because technology can give you that, empowered you. One email, send it to thousands of people. One phone call, make it to thousands of people. You can do it because of technology empowered, right? And you have to go nowhere to do it. No risk, no danger, no time, no effort, nothing. Technology. And then wait. Every victim, everyone will not get trapped in your trap. Some will. That's how it works. So that's how phishing is. But I just want to talk to you how to save yourself from phishing. I told you it is a base of all types of cybercrime. If you have to save yourself against phishing, you have to follow these two protocols, which I have developed myself just out of my experience. Please follow it and listen to it first of all, and then follow it. First part of phishing, if you have to save yourself against phishing, is in the virtual world. This is what I always say. In the cyber world, you should never have any contact with the unknown. No contact with the unknown means no contact, and no contact with the unknown means every time no contact. Not that sometimes to हाँ बोल दिया, sometimes ना बोल दिया. ये नहीं चलता जिंदगी में. हाँ बोलो तो हाँ, ना बोलो तो ना. और इसमें ना ही बोलना है और हर बार ना बोलना है. Okay. So what do I mean? If you get a friend request from an unknown source, you don't have to accept it. If you get a phone call from an unknown source, you don't have to talk. If you get an email from unknown source, don't download any attachment. If you get an SMS from an unknown source, don't press any link. I can keep going on and on and on. But the fact is that first is, in the virtual world, you should have no contact with the unknown. Finished. First. But there's a second protocol. That's also important. It's a technologically empowered crime, I've told you. So in technology, I can be something, but I can show something else. That is called spoofing. That is also a crime. Call can be spoofed, mail can be spoofed, profile can be spoofed, SMS can be spoofed, anything can be spoofed, you know it. I can give you a call from my number and display some other number. It's VoIP. It's a VoIP call, internet call, fake call. Similarly, I can give you a mail from my ID and display some other ID as a sender. It's called fake mailing or a spoofed mail. So anything can be done in technology because it's technology empowered. So it can be something else, but something else can be shown to you. Okay. So first protocol, unknown, no contact. Second protocol, if you know it also, if it looks known, appears known, you still have to verify. That's the second protocol. Verify means you have to make an effort. See, security is not for free. You can't say that ये तो मजाक है, मजा करेंगे, कुछ नहीं होगा. आपको कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा अपने आप को secure रखने के लिए. You have to make an effort. It is not, there's no free lunch. Okay. So what effort will, suppose you get a phone call from your bank or SMS from a bank, ये जानकारी भेजो, वो जानकारी भेजो. You don't have to talk. You may appear your bank, but you don't have to give that information then. You cut the phone, don't give information. Find out the number of your bank manager. That effort you have to make, as I said. Make a phone call to that bank or to the section and say, did you make this phone call to me? Authorize anyone? Did you send this SMS to me or authorize anyone? The person most probably will say no. If the manager says no, first part, reject. If the manager says yes, then you decide what to do. If you get a friend request from my profile, if you don't know me, reject. Whatever I may seem. If you know me, then you may be having some other way of contacting me other than the Facebook. Make a phone call. Say, Mr. Kapoor, have you sent me a friend request? If I say yes, you can make a decision. If I say no, then you have to reject. So these two-stage protocols, if you follow, I am sure you will take a very, very big step towards saving yourself from phishing and as a result, saving yourself from a lot of cybercrime. Okay. So that's why I say, keep your, only make friends. These, see, so many security measures I'm telling you from the beginning. If you were intelligent children, you would have written it down, but I'm sure you have not. But okay, use this as your letter pad, as your notepad, but at least remember. So only friends, make friends with people you know well. Don't get into a contest who has more friends. I might be having 1,000 friends. You might be having 500 friends. That doesn't mean I'm more popular than you. For me, according to me, if that is the case, then I'm more foolish than you. Because I cannot know 1,000 people so well that I can make friends with them. So only make friends with people you know well. Don't get into a contest who has more friends. Keep your group of friends small. These are security measures. If you don't do it, see how easy it is to commit crime in the cyberspace. This case will show it to you. This is a case of Australia. Australian city, Sydney. It happened in 2017. And see how easy it is. You can see a photograph of a man called Christopher below. He is a 25-year-old man from Sydney. If you look at his photograph, it looks normal. He's the white people of that area must be looking like this only. Okay, but he was not normal. He is a criminal. He was in jail for abduction of some 19-year-old girl, and he had come out on bail. Now that is his habit. So he wanted to have his next victim. So he decided this time that in the real world, it's a tough job to find a victim. You have to go to some girl, you have to convince her, you have to take her in your trap, you have to make her trust you. So long, so much effort, so much time. Who's interested? I'm not going to do it in the real world. You may succeed, you may not succeed, then you start with somebody else. So he said, this time I will do it in the virtual world and see how easy it is. And so much more empowered and so much more comfortable. You have to go nowhere. As I said, no effort, no time, nothing. Just enjoy and keep on attacking people and somebody will be getting trapped. So simple. What did he do? He started reviewing the content, public content of 19 and 20-year-old girls of Sydney. And we don't even check we don't even bother who sees the content we put out on social media. Do you? There is something called settings. You must have heard about it, right? Why settings are there in devices also? Settings are there in these services also, in Facebook, Gmail, WhatsApp. There are settings. What are settings for? Definitely for improving your experience. You do the settings as you want to use that device or that service. That's definitely for that. But it's also for security. Second being part is security. That we never do. Why? So we should do no. So settings means there are settings in Facebook also, in all these social media. So you can keep on putting out content. People don't have the settings right. So anybody can see what they're writing, what they're posting. So that's what he did. He was checked the public content of girls of 19 and 20 years old. And in that, he found this girl called Nona. She was a 19-year-old girl. And again, obviously she had not checked her settings and what she was putting out all type of content, and he came to know he was looking for targets anyway, right? And we don't check the settings, so it became so simple for him. See, in the real world, people will attack your weakness and commit crime. There's crime on women. Why? Because they're weaker than men, unfortunately. There's crime on weaker sections. Why? Because they are socially weaker. There is crime, somebody can get a knife and rob you. Why? Because he's physically. So your weakness will be attacked and then crime will be committed, real world crime. Virtual world, your strength will be attacked. Always remember it. Your interest, what you show as your great love and passion, that will be attacked. Suppose I also do it. I'm also putting it out that I am a cybersecurity. This session I took, that session I took. I put it out. But then I should be ready to be attacked on this field. Because I am telling them that I am a cybersecurity man. So they will attack me on this only. They're not going to attack me on my weakness, right? Because I will not tell them that my weakness in virtual world. Okay? So be ready for that. Anyway, so this girl was putting out all type of content. Settings were not right. He found her. She also had a great love and passion and interest. What was it? Animal welfare, animal love. She pet lover. And where will you show it in today's world? Obviously online. She had put all type of contents. He saw it. So he found out her passion and her great love for animals. So it became so easy for him. He made a fake profile. I told you the fake profile anybody can make. He made a fake profile in the name of Gordon Green, any fictitious name. And then he found out in Sydney, the biggest NGO working for animal welfare. Biggest NGO, the name. He showed himself as the HR manager for that NGO and made a fake profile. Nobody could stop him. Can anybody? No. And he sent her a friend request. Now, what is she going to do? We are in the contest at who has more friends. Who's bothered? किससे दोस्ती हो रही? क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Danger तो दिखता ही नहीं ना यार. गलत भी हो तो हो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? पर पड़ता है. It's not बाद में पड़ा. This girl got a friend request. Now what? She must have felt that time that, oh, such a big NGO of animal welfare and wanting to make friends with me, the HR manager. I'm so lucky. She said yes. They became friends. They are criminals. For 6 months, he kept talking to her without anything, just chatting. Then he realized that now she has in my control. I won her trust. See, trust takes a life to win. It's not like this anyway. But when when he realized, he took the next step. What is the next step? He gave her an offer of a job. That in my organization, this job is available. Do you want to do it? Now, what is she going to say? First of all, to get to work in the biggest organization for animal welfare, prestigious. Second, what is the job? Obviously, it was to animal related only, something for their welfare, which she anyway loves to do. So she's going to work in the biggest organization, a job which she anyway loves to do. Third, she's going to get paid for it. for something which he anyway loves to do. And fourth, who's offering the job? Her best friend. Now he was his best friend because never met, never seen, but best friend, 6 months. So she said yes. And I'm sure she must have been so happy she wouldn't have slept the whole night. He said, okay, I'll come tomorrow morning. I'll pick you up. We'll go to the office and take a formal interview. You'll get the job. She might not have even slept the whole night on happiness. He came the next morning. He picked her up. He took her outside Sydney. He raped her. He strangled her to death. He buried her and he came back because that's what he wanted to do from the first place. Now, after 1.5 months, they found the body of this girl. And then digital footprints, as I told you, would not make him escape. He was caught. He has been sentenced on December 2018 for 21 years imprisonment for the rape, murder and abduction of Nona. Right? They say it is the harshest punishment for anybody in Australian history because they don't have capital punishment in Australia. But do you think because of this punishment, Nona is going to come back? Who could have saved her? Was there anybody else who could have saved her except she herself? You know the answer. Now, fake profile, this I've already told you, fake. That's why I say fake profile was responsible for so many other crimes I've talked about. But see this, in your social network working profile, don't post your phone number, don't post your address, don't post a status update with time and place reference, don't post your photographs too many because photographs are also your personal information. So least personal information you should do. Photographs of women are morphed and made obscene. So many things are done. So many crimes are done. So photographs are also your personal information. Post them, but with care. Very less as possible. Okay. See, this is another case I'll tell you quickly and then we'll finish. There's one more thing I want to tell after this, then it's over. This is the case of Indore. Again, Indore. So this was how one girl did one mistake after the other and then where she landed up. This was you can see the photograph. Her name is Kiran. She was a 17-year-old girl and she was very good student. She was going to appear for IIT exam. But she made one mistake after the other. See what happened. First mistake, she got a friend request from a 16-year-old, another girl who she did not know. And she said yes. That I told you. Friendship with unknown, first mistake. Then after some time, that person told that I am not a girl, I am a boy. His name was Amit. His photograph is there. 22-year-old boy from a neighboring city of Indore. He was also no criminal. He was son of a railway officer, engineering graduate looking for a job. So he was from a good family, educated boy. He was not a criminal. Now he told her that I told you a lie and made a friendship. In a way, he said that. But still, she kept talking to him. Second mistake. Imagine, that was reckless behavior. What else can you call it? Now, after some time, her exams came. Time came for exams. She didn't have time. She was a very good student, I told you. She stopped talking to him. Maybe he pestered her, so she blocked him. So, but she had already made a mistake, which was fatal, the third mistake. She had already posted all her phone number and address and all her personal information on the social networking platform. He knew it. He landed up in her house one day. He knocked the door. Her mother opened. He had some fight with the mother. He stabbed her 5 times. Then he went into the room and then he met the girl. He had altercation with the girl. He stabbed her 22 times. And then he jumped out of the second floor. He broke his leg and he was caught on the scene of crime. Even if he was not caught on the scene of crime, he would have been caught later. He has just been sentenced to life imprisonment. But again, that girl is not. This girl and his mother was taken to hospital. The mother survived, the girl died. And the fact is the same, that who could have saved her, okay? Selfies, this I'll go quickly. Selfies is also supposed to be a mental disorder by WHO. Too many selfies and posting them, that is a disease, okay? So you have to protect yourself from it. Every day you can see these kind of news. Somebody falls in front of a train, somebody falls in a tiger's cage, somebody falls in the river, somebody falls somewhere, somebody taking selfies. Just now I was seeing a video of one girl hanging on a bridge. She was taking a selfie on the bridge in Bhopal, in that the big lake is there. She was got on top of that bridge, and from there she was taking a selfie and she slipped, and then she was hanging onto there for life, and then somebody saved her, lucky for her. But suppose she had fallen in, she would have lost her life. So every day you can see these kind of things happening. It's very bad. How much do you want to look at your face? This is called narcissism. This is also a psychological disorder, you know, the habit of seeing one's own face all the time. Anyway, so selfies should be taken as less as possible. And the selfies which you take should be used for your personal record and memory. Every selfie should not be posted. I'm not saying don't post anything. Please post, but post few, very few, selected ones which cannot cause you trouble later on. Okay, because for girls especially, this habit of putting your photographs is very dangerous, and all types, in all poses, in all situations. It's not to be done. Okay. And this is the last thing which I said, I will tell you in before, photographic stalking, then I will end it. Photographic stalking, I wanted to talk you through, in that case of Bangalore girl, I told you. See, this is called, what is this? This is called a smartphone. Why is it called a smartphone? It's called a smartphone because, not because nowadays everything is smart. People have a habit of calling everything smart. Smart city, smart bus, smart toilet, smart toothpaste, smart AC, smart fridge, smart TV, everything is smart. But now human beings are not smart. But every device is smart. It's not because of that. Because this was the original device which was called smartphone. Why was it called smartphone? Because it had certain features which makes it smart. Right? Now, if you don't know the features, but you keep using these devices, but you don't know the features, so this device is going to become smarter than you one day. And then this device is going to use you, and you're not going to use the device. Okay? So, one of the features, why this is called a smartphone, one of the features is called GPS. You must have heard about it. Geo positioning system. Geographical positioning system, rather. Now, they are 24 low orbiting satellites which pinpoint your location. Every device is enabled with that, right? 24 low orbiting satellites. How do they work? On your latitude and longitude. They pick up your latitude and longitude where you're standing or where you are sitting, and then they'll pinpoint your location. So when you buy an iPhone or an Android or whatever, a smartphone, and you bring it home and you switch it on, first time, by default, GPS comes on. You don't have to press any buttons for it. It is on. Okay. So with such a phone, in which GPS is enabled by default, you take a photograph. Your latitude, longitude, because of GPS, gets picked up, and then it gets tagged with that photograph. That's called geo tagging. That is another feature of a smartphone. If you don't know these features, that means you are not using the phone. The phone is using you, actually. So how easy then it becomes to your latitude. I'll tell you a case. See, there's a girl. This is also a case of UK. There's a girl in UK who won a lottery. She actually won a lottery, notes, pounds. So she got those notes home. She put it on a table. And what I'm going to say, you know it. She put it on a table and she made her grandmother sit with her. And she herself sat with the grandmother with the notes in front. And what did she do? Obviously, you know it. She took a selfie. Because happiness were selfie. And then posted it online. And said what? I'm so rich. Dekha, kitna ameer ho gayi main, kitni khush hu. Obviously, she said it in English because it was not India. So she posted it online. Such people are called online predators, online shikari. Their work is to do this only, to go through this public content which people keep posting without seeing. I told you that case of that Australian guy. So we keep posting without even bothering who's looking at it, just to show our happiness and whatever we are showing. But they are online predators. When they find such content, then they take action. So see how easy it became for this online predator when this kind of photograph this girl posted. Now they saw this, they download such a photograph. You right click the photograph, you will reach the properties. Once you get to the properties, because of geotagging, and that photograph is taken from a smartphone, because it's a selfie, that person knew it, the predator. So selfie taken from a smartphone. Once you get to the properties, in the properties are the latitude, longitude, which is because of geotagging. So then it becomes so easy. You copy that latitude, longitude, and you paste it on Google Maps. Now, what does Google Maps work on? Latitude and longitude. So you can pinpoint the address. So their address was pinpointed at the night. They attacked the house, they killed the grandmother, they killed the girl, and they took all the money. But who gave the invitation? The girl herself. That I got so much money, and an old lady and a young girl, we are living here alone. You want to come? They came, and they took the money, and in the process they murdered both of them. So be careful. See, it's not only limited to some people; it's limited to everybody. You don't think that I am so smart. मेरे साथ थोड़ी हो सकता है. मैं तो बहुत सा smart हूँ. The smarter you are, the more active you are, the more intelligent you think you are, the bigger target you are. This I will tell you. See this woman. Her name is Kim Kardashian. She is a reality star of US. You know it. Maybe some of you. She went from US to Paris with her sister and mother, and they lived in a very big apartment, and they took a lot of jewelry with them. And what did they do with that jewelry? They wore all that jewelry, and then they took a lot of photographs in that big apartment with that's a lot of jewelry, and those lot of photographs they posted everything online, Instagram. So invitation given, invitation was accepted. They came one afternoon, and she was not there, of course. Her mother and her sister were there. They were tied up, they were beaten badly, and all the money and the jewelry was taken. So I say, selfie कम से कम, ताकि जान पे तो ना बनाए. दूसरा, जो सेल्फी ली है अपने पर्सनल रिकॉर्ड के लिए रखो, इन मेमोरी के लिए. हर सेल्फी को पोस्ट मत करो. और तीसरा, अगर वो सेल्फी जो एक आध दो पोस्ट करनी है भी, तो फिर ये वाला चीज आप बंद कर दो, जियो टैगिंग. In this iPhone, it is suppose settings में आप जाओ. As I said, settings are also for security. Settings में होगा privacy settings. Go into that. You will find location services. Access that. You will find camera. Close the camera ka location. Okay. The next time you take minimum selfies, minimum posting, and this kind of crime you will not be subject to because your latitude longitude will not be there. Okay. So now I'll finish it with this. Challenges and dares. You must have heard a lot about. कोई गाड़ी पे चढ़ जाओ, किको चैलेंज, कोई नीचे कूद जाओ, वो पिको चैलेंज, कोई कुछ कर दो, कोई ब्लू व्हेल चैलेंज, कोई गिव चैलेंज. This virtual gimmickry, I would call it, right? There's only one challenge in life. Take it from me. I was also a student of your age many years back, but I was, and I studied in Delhi Public School in Delhi, Mathura Road. That's where I've done my schooling from. So I'll tell you one thing. There's only one challenge in life to be successful. You may be a successful student, sportsman, artist, whatever. Make that your challenge. These challenges, as I told you, this is just gimmicks. Okay. So I'll finish with this. And last is my 5. You might have heard what I said. You might remember what I say. I hope you do. But if you don't, at least remember these 5 points, key points of my whole lecture. This is like my mantra. I call them my mantra, the 5 mantras. Please at least implement these. First is always have a mindset of safety and security, right? That mindset. This is the most important tool and the weapon which all of us have. For you, the biggest tool, the biggest weapon available is this. Who's your own? Nobody else's. Don't go on what others say. ऐसे कर लो, कभी नहीं पकड़े जाओगे. ये कर लो, ऐसा नहीं हो जाएगा. अपना दिमाग अपने लिए सबसे बड़ा हथियार है. उससे बड़ा हथियार कोई नहीं है. तो अपने दिमाग को कंट्रोल में रखो और अपने दिमाग को यूज करो अपने फायदे के लिए. तो understand this is a different world. There is a world full of challenges and all those things I've told you. And then have a mindset of security. You have it in the real world without thinking. You don't have it in the cyber world. You think and have it then. Here, though it is part of a system. There you'll have to make it part of a system. Okay. So have a mindset of security and safety. You will be better off. Second is always avoid greed and avoid shortcuts. Greed is another human instinct. घर बैठे नौकरी लग गई, घर बैठे लॉटरी लग गई, घर बैठे रिश्ता बन गया. ऐसा होता नहीं है. So I have not talked about the financial part of cybercrime. There are a lot of financial cyber crimes also going on. You are children. Most of you none of you have accounts and cards and all that. So I've not talked about that. But that is also a very big part of cybercrime. So, but based on the human instinct of greed, that's what they do. So don't have greed. Work for. I will get whatever I get out of my hard work. If you have that as a motto, you will not fall for these kind of tricks and gimmicks. Okay. And second is avoid shortcuts. Technology has empowered our lives a lot, has improved our lives a lot, no doubt about it. But every technology does not have to be used so that you get into trouble with it also. But you keep using it because it is available. It is not right. You know. So you don't have to press every link which is given. You don't have to download every file. You know. So like you are leaving Facebook and WhatsApp. Why do you just usko band kyun kar dete ho? Why don't you log out? Because technology is available here. Automatically signed in, keep signed in. Why? Why don't you next time open a new tab, write www.facebook.com. When you reach that site, just enter your password with your own name, with your own fingers. How long will it take you? 5 seconds, 7 seconds, but you'll be much more secure. So don't have to follow all shortcuts just because they're available. Shortcuts take you maybe in the right direction. There's no guarantee. Take the long path, take the wrong, it may be a little longer, it may be a little more effort, but take the longer path, the secure path. The third is think before you act. Whatever you do, just think. What you're sharing, what you're posting, what you're liking, what you're forwarding, just think. If you think for 2 seconds, 3 seconds, don't not that सुबह से लेके शाम तक सोच रहे हैं कि क्या करना है. उनने बोला था कपूर साहब ने तो हमको सोचना पड़ रहा है तो हम सोच रहे हैं. Don't do that. You think for 2 seconds, 3 seconds, but think. Once you think and do it, I'm sure you're not going to make the same mistake if what you would have made if you do it without thinking. That's pakka. Okay, think before you act. The fourth is have full knowledge. This is a time of information for everything, information for security also. So you also try to keep as much information as possible and then do whatever you have to. You will be safal, you will be surakshit, you will be sukhi, you will be sab kuch. Okay, because that is the power, real power today. And in cyberspace, do not trust everything blindly. No? In cyberspace, do not trust everything blindly. Why am I saying that? Because in front of you, in the cyberspace is only a screen. You are basically interacting with a screen. There is no person, there is no place, there is no situation, only a screen. So in this screen, I can show you anything or make you hear anything. Everything cannot be the truth. So these 5 points, please remember them. This is my Facebook page. There are very few pages dedicated to Facebook, to cybersecurity. I do a lot of research. I write in a lot of papers. Whatever I do, I post it here. So you must come on this page and you must like that page. Once you have your updates on for this page and you have liked my page, then next time I post something on it, you will get it in your feed. If you have time, just read it, because I told you information is power. And then after that, if you don't have time, you don't read it. You read it the next time. There's no problem with that also. Depends on how much time you have and how much interest you have, but at least you'll have access to good quality cybersecurity information. This is my phone number 98260, my WhatsApp number 98260176114. Second is my email ID varunkapoor170@gmail.com. People contact me from all over India. If I can guide them, if I can support them, I try my best to do it. If you have any issue which you want to discuss, you can do it. There's no problem. People keep doing it all the time. Yesterday, I got a call from a girl from Chennai. She had a problem with Instagram. Somebody had hacked her account and she was in, there was a lot of problem, but then it was solved and whatever guidance solved, I don't know, but guidance, what I could give her, I gave her, and I hope it is solved. I can promise you guidance. I can promise you advice. I cannot promise you help. Like I am from Madhya Pradesh. If somebody is from Madhya Pradesh, I can do something with you, with your problem, I will try. But if you're from somewhere else, I can definitely give you advice and, guidance. That much I can definitely do. So if you have any issues like that, you can definitely contact me. Like Vaishali contacted me and got this thing organized. If you want some more cyber sessions, if I have time, I will love to do it. As I told you, it's my passion and mission. If somebody else out of you wants another mission somewhere, some other school, some other college, some other institution, some other organization, whenever I have time, I will do it. Because that, as I said, is what I want to do as my mission in life. So thank you for listening to me so patiently. It's a long time. It's very difficult for you to listen, but it's even more difficult for me to do. Talking 2 hours continuously is a very difficult job. It's not that easy. And doing it every day is even worse. So, thank you. You've been a good audience. You've not done any annotation. Very nice of you. But if you have any questions now, you want to ask, please do it. If I have the answers, I'll give it. Otherwise, we will say Jai Hind. Thank you so much and have a lovely day.
Thank you, sir. That was really eye-opening. I think everyone from now on would keep in mind the IT laws and also try to minimize their digital footprint. So with your permission, a few inquisitive students from our school would like to ask you a few questions.
Yeah, sure.
The first student is Arun Jain from class 12.
Good afternoon, sir. So my question is, there has been a rise in the number of SIM swapping cases and seeing that everything,
What cases?
sir, in rising the number of SIM swapping cases,
SIM swapping. Yeah. Go ahead.
and seeing that everything is connected with the number, what do you think about this?
SIM swapping is, I don't think it's rising as such, but yes, it is a crime which does happen. There can be no two numbers working on the same SIM. So as soon as your SIM is disabled, then only the other SIM can be enabled. So it is done, but as soon as you find that, because nowadays, earlier, when the cyber crime started, then it was something which was very easy to do. Many times towers used to disappear, your signals and all that. It used to happen. It doesn't happen now. So if you feel that at any point of time, because as I told you that your number has to be disabled, then some other SIM of the same number will be enabled. So as soon as your signal disappears, you must be alert and aware and take action against it. Report to your bank, shut down your accounts, report to your mobile company. You have to take action. I told you, it is not, and there's no free lunch here. If you have to ensure your security, you have to do it yourself. So if you feel like that ever, you can take action. I suppose it's not rising alarmingly, but yes, it is a crime which does occur many times.
Thank you.
The point about taking action is something we'll all remember. Next, we have another student who is eager to ask you a question. Rudransh of class 11.
Good afternoon, sir. My question to you is, in the present world, augmented reality, virtual reality, and blockchain are growing very rapidly, and these technologies are being used in various fields. So can they also be used in cybersecurity? What's your view on this, sir?
Which technology are you talking about? Blockchain?
Sir, technologies such as augmented reality, virtual reality, and blockchain.
Virtual reality. See, these are not, these are just concepts. These are technologies used for in the virtual world. Any technology which is of use to all of them cannot be of use to blockchain technology, of course, is being used for security reasons also. But virtual reality and all, they are just, tomorrow you say online gaming to be used for security. No, it cannot be. Every technology cannot be used for security. But some technologies can be. One name which you took is blockchain technology, it can be. But the other names you took one was virtual reality, the third I didn't understand. But the virtual reality is just for fun, just for anything else?
Yes, Navan, you can ask the next question.
I think we can, I think, for example, how you stated about blockchain, I think it can be used for data validation and data integrity. So now we have another child, Aditya, from...
Next, I have been talking from the beginning, from the point of view of personal security, what you can do, right, to secure yourself. So please limit yourself to that. Don't talk to me about if you start talking to me about technologies which are available. I told you before, I'm not like those kind of people who talk all kind of big names and nobody understands. So one or two of you might understand all these things which I say if you start talking about blockchain technology and all that, but for the others it makes no sense. So I am not talking about that. Don't talk about these kind of technological things. First of all, I told you I'm not claiming to be some big technological or computer expert. But yes, those would affects a person, what you can do to secure yourself, please talk about that. I will guide you on that, because that's what my focus is on, and that's what I want to happen. If you can do that, if you can secure yourself, forget about the other technologies. They are all names. Huh? They'll be all there. You can use it, whatever. But your intention and my intention to come on this webinar is to make you do something to secure yourself. Now you can ask the next question.
Sure, sir. So next is Aditya from class 6.
Just 1 minute. Navan, ask only those. In case anyone has technical questions, you may drop. Ask only the security-based questions.
Sure.
A very good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
So my question to you is that the Personal Data Protection Bill 2019 is being hailed as a new landmark. It is capable of ushering in a new balance between security and privacy. So I wanted to ask, what are your thoughts regarding this, sir? And how could it
Data,
benefit us?
data protection bill basically has to deal with the data localization, what they also call. Uh, privacy is a part of it only. Data localization, you must be knowing what it means, or maybe not.
Yes, sir.
But it basically deals with storing the data which is concerned with your country, in your region, in your country. In India, these big information-based companies have not even set up servers, which is very sad. We are the biggest market, but no servers. You know, we can Indian laws don't apply on them. That's very bad. And suppose I want to solve some crime on Facebook or some crime on WhatsApp, then I have to request their company. Their company will write to their company in US. Then it will come in after. Generally, of course, we understand that the whole world is sending requests to you to for crimes which are occurring in the area. No doubt, and they have their own protocols also. Okay, for some things they give very fast, for some things they don't give information very fast. But why? Why should not your data not be in my country? My data, so you should localize it in my country. That's the data, the bill you were talking about. So it should be done, in my opinion. It can be used for political reasons, unfortunately, but it cannot be used for security reasons. Why? Why can't these people be, because we are the biggest market. Once they lose India, they lose a lot of their revenue, a large percentage. So they can easily be made to localize the data in India. They should. As a police officer, I would always want. So that is one. The second is the privacy part. Yes, the privacy laws in India are not defined. So they should be. Because this world is very invasive, it is not that simple. If you feel that anybody feels that in the digital world, the security, the privacy is more what I'm doing, nobody knows who I'm talking to, where I'm, sites I'm visiting, what I'm doing, nobody will come to know. You can think again, because it is more public. It can be more public if somebody wants than this real world. Okay, so privacy is the issue. In the digital world, it's even a bigger issue. So those laws should be codified, according to me, and so that they can be implemented. Because everything, the privacy is becoming an issue in the digital world. There is no doubt. In India must have its own privacy laws. I feel that.
Thank you so much for your insight, sir.
You're welcome.
I'm sure that data localization will really be helpful in the coming years for several tasks. Now, next, yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Next student is Mayank from class 10.
Good afternoon, sir. So my question to you is, with the increasing online payments, there are a number of bank frauds. So how can people ensure that they don't get scammed?
They don't get scammed. First of all, don't talk about it, because
Yes,
I'm not talking about financial crimes, please, with children. There's no point. This is, you're not doing any transactions. You should not be doing any transactions. So there is no use talking about this with children. But if you want to know the answer to what you said, all the companies, all the banks, which I told you from before, they're doing their job. Let them do their job. You do your job. The ones which are recognized institutions, recognized wallets, recognized banks, they have their own security systems in place, which according to them is the best. And that's why they are allowed by the government to operate. So I think that you can only go on that. You cannot assume that something is more safer than the other. You can go on that, and they are safe. They are aisa kuch hai nahi. If your behavior on that is not safe, then you are in trouble. So make your behavior safe, make your activities safe, make your actions safe. Then these platforms mostly are safe. But as I told you, you might put 100 locks in your house, but that doesn't mean there is no breach. There can still be a breach. So that chance you have to take. But they will try their best to secure the payment procedure, the data they collect about you, whatever I was talking. your behavior, your activities should be secure. You look at yourself, then look at the others. That's what.
Okay,
That's what.
thank you, sir.
Okay. Anything more?
Yes, next is Yash Singh from class 11.
Good afternoon, sir. As we know, the government of India has been blocking a lot of different shows and videos on YouTube for breaching various laws and regulations that they may or may not have in their own countries. Due to this, a lot of people are turning to VPNs, which also advertise the feature set of having your data completely secure. So my question to you is the data really secure? Because the data has to be kept somewhere if you're routing it through another country.
VPN for what?
So VPN to like either browse different websites that are
Why?
not available in India, or to
Why?
watch shows on Netflix that may or may not be available in India. For example, a few years ago, a popular YouTuber, PewDiePie, his videos were taken off of YouTube.
No, see, that is a problem which is always there in digital world. If you you cannot ban things, you cannot censor things, you cannot stop content from flowing. It is tough till you have till you are living in China. It is a tough job. You cannot do it so easily to stop some site, to stop some thing. VPN, people have another misconception that again, a digital footprints will not be found. But please, if anybody thinks that, you are wrong, because your footprints are encrypted. So nobody can find it out but the law enforcement agency, because somebody runs that VPN, you know, and that VPN will definitely, whoever runs that virtual private network will respond to the request from a law enforcement, recognized law enforcement agency. So it is encrypted footprints, so it cannot be easily detected by other people other than the people who run that VPN, but they have the key to decode that encryption. That so they have that they can decode it. Normal people cannot. Who will try to hack into it and find out the footprints, who did it, and like that. But they can do it. No, who has the decoding key? So they will tell. They will tell the law enforcement. There is no problem about it. So your secrecy and all that is only limited till you are not done a crime. And secondly, you are talking about the censorship and the stopping and all that. You can access through VPN and all that. You can, that is also not required. You might take it off the YouTube. So what? There are so many other live streaming channels, and not YouTube is not the only one. And then they change the name, they change the URL, just one letter they change, and the same content keeps coming. So it's very difficult to do it anyway.
So just a few more questions remaining. One is from Shrishti, who's in class 8.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, artificial intelligence is surely a stepping stone towards making this world a better place to live. And it can learn a lot from small amounts of data, but access to just one device can give control to many others. So, sir, as this technology will be used extensively, how do we ensure data protection?
You were talking about artificial intelligence first, and then what did you say after that?
So I'm saying that artificial intelligence, it can learn a lot from small amounts of data, and because it's so much connected and integrated, that access to just one device can give control to many others. So in that case, when artificial intelligence, as it will be used extensively, how should we as individuals ensure data protection?
Your question is I've not been able to understand what you meant. Artificial intelligence depends on a lot of data from a lot of devices. Don't think artificial intelligence depends on little data from one device. No. Artificial intelligence is based on the more data they have, the better artificial intelligence output you'll get. So that's why China is the world leader in artificial intelligence. Why? Because it has access there's no privacy law, nothing. They can access any data of their citizens. First of all, they have that access. Then they have all kind of hacking of all the world devices and all these Chinese mobiles and all that. So they have access to a lot of data. So they are the more data you have, the more artificial intelligence success you'll have. So that small, that part is not right. The second part, I didn't know how you linked artificial intelligence with the data protection. I did not get that. That what you wanted to ask, I really didn't get it. If you can tell me again, that first part of yours was not right. That little bit of data you get from one device. Artificial intelligence works on maximum amount of data from maximum devices. What is the second part?
So I'm saying that many devices are integrated in this. So data from one another. So there are lots of data, lots of devices connected. So just access to just one device can possibly give control to many other devices. So in that case, how do we ensure data protection as individuals?
You're getting a little, this is not right what you're saying. See, artificial intelligence is not based on data, devices being connected. Artificial intelligence is based on data from many devices, once collected, then analyzed, and then used for medical reasons, for whatever reasons. There is no connection of devices then. It's just collection of information and devices. The artificial intelligence is something very different. You don't need devices connected and then how you can access so many devices. That's not it. But yes, it can be, because it is a connected world. You can penetrate one device. So you must have heard about what happened in Iran. Iran made the whole nuclear program of Iran was shut down because that entire system, that nuclear reactors and all were connected. There were about 21 reactors producing uranium-235 and shut down by one pen drive virus called Stuxnet, which was sent by Americans, right? And the entire thing was connected. So the whole system collapsed, but because that virus spread, it was a worm. So it can be done because when there is a connection, but artificial intelligence has nothing to do with it. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right, so thank you.
And now, so the final question from Tanisha of class 10.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, my question is that even after knowing that piracy is illegal, numerous people pirate stuff anyway. So, sir, what are your comments about this?
About piracy?
Yes, sir.
Oh, if piracy is a crime, you should not do it. But there are people who will always want to do crime for their benefit. So for that, they have to be caught and they have to be punished. Everyone knows murder is very bad, but people keep murdering others. So that is not the thing. There are people who know, yes, piracy is a crime. And if you do it, if you're caught, you will be punished. But still people take a chance. So fine, then they have to be caught.
So thank you to all the students and especially you, sir, for answering all of these with detailed answers. Now I would like to invite Ms. Vishali Deshpande to give a vote of thanks.
Thank you so much to all the participants and Dr. Kapoor. So, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to share the vote of thanks. So, on behalf of Corporate and Legal and also on behalf of Birla Vidyaniketan, we are immensely grateful to Dr. Varun Kapoor for his insightful session on cybersecurity awareness. His lucid explanations, internet jargons, and the threats that we face while online has been an eye-opener. In fact, I could not stop myself from coordinating with Principal Ma'am for this session when I first attended Dr. Kapoor's session. It was a jarring realization that till today we are so vulnerable with lack of knowledge and its application regarding cyber threats. Thank you, sir. And today also you explained all the terms and the terms and the security threats and challenges which we face every day in very, very simple and lucid language, which I personally could also understand, and because of which I felt that the students can benefit largely from your explanation again with this session. Thank you so much, sir. And then Dr. Kapoor has thoroughly explained threats we face online due to unawareness and how to keep safe. An intelligent student has said, I quote, on a cold night of ignorance, a spark of knowledge is enough to light the fire of awareness, unquote. So your session has definitely ignited the minds of students, parents, and us alike, not only to use internet for our benefit, but also how to keep ourselves safe. We thank Dr. Varun Kapoor for taking out his time from his busy schedule. We wish and hope to have more sessions like this with Dr. Varun Kapoor enlightening us on cyber security threats and precautions. Corporate and Legal would also like to thank Mrs. Munakshi Kushwaha, Principal, ma'am, for giving us this opportunity to organize a webinar on cyber security awareness. Ma'am, you have always been an inspiration as you have taken proactive steps for keeping students safe and aware about many issues. Ma'am, you have shown us the way to never compromise on education, even in this pandemic situation, by organizing classes online and having normal curriculum for the school. Thank you so much, ma'am, and also the teachers of Birla Vidya Niketan. And this is our small way of paying a debt of gratitude. Thank you, teachers and principal, ma'am, that in this exam time also you're organizing this having this session for the students, and having shown my gratitude to all the people that helped, including the technical teams who have worked behind the scene to make this session so lively and so informative. I have left the most integral part for the end, and I would like to use this time to thank the student council, without whose efforts the session would not have been such a success. In the end, I would like to thank like all our students to remember that ignorance might be a bliss, but knowledge is power. So thank you, students and everybody, and wish you all the best for your exam. And with Dr. Kapoor's such insightful session, I'm sure you are going to be safe online, because in this pandemic situation, we have defeated the COVID to an extent that we have not compromised on our education, and we are not going to make it a 0 year. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Varun sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Varun. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much. Jai Hind.
Jai
Jai
Hind.
Hind.